What's going on, beautiful people? My name's the Black Hokage, aka TBH, and to be honest, I'd like to welcome y'all back to the Gaming Illuminati podcast. We are the Enlightened Gamers, and you're now tuned into episode 155. If you're watching the video version of the show at youtube.com/GI Updates, know the show is available on Apple, Spotify, Amazon, and all other major podcast platforms. Be sure to rate the show 5 stars on Apple and Spotify. We need that 5-star rating so we can move up in the algorithm and help the show grow. If you want to follow the podcast on social media, we drop daily content on our pages. We're available on TikTok, Twitter, Instagram. Our handle on all platforms is @GI Updates. And we have a Discord. If you want to join it, discord.gg/GI Updates. Links to all our social media platforms are in the description box below at youtube.com/GI Updates. Now, allow me to introduce you to my co-host. The first of which, the people, he hooked us up. He gave us a very rare appearance. A lot of y'all been begging for like the last 5+ years to see OVO Miles, and he hooked it up. If you were in the streams last week when all the drama between Drake and Kendrick was going down, big OVO Miles came back, and it's all thanks to our man Ethos. Say what up to the people.
I never want to relive that again, please. Please, never again. I had to talk to him today because it was Mother's Day, and he's still trying to push agendas, so I just give up. Hi, everybody.
Does Miles celebrate Drake on Father's Day? Like, how does that work?
You know what? Yeah, probably does. He probably does. You know, he's just repeating the same stuff. So
yeah, if y'all want to see, me and Miles got into a really funny debate. If you want to see it, go to Hokage Highlights, my second channel. It's up on that channel. That video, by the way, I don't know if I told you, that's my most popular video on that channel to date. That shit blew up.
Oh, he called all y'all Kendrick dick riders. So. He said every comment is a Kendrick dick rider.
Oh my goodness. And my second co-host, his head takes up 75% of the camera, but we're only calling on him to add 25% of the conversation today. UTXJG the Don, say what up to the people.
I'll be adding more than that, man. I'll be adding more than that. 2024, man. We're continuing with the year of exposure. Stuff has been crazy like the last couple of weeks. So we ain't got no beef for y'all, but we do have some games to talk about for sure.
And our guest for today is a returning guest. She was on one of our earliest episodes. I think, if I'm correct, if my memory, because I'm old now, I believe you were on, I think it was called Titanfall: The Great Divide or something like that. It was when Titanfall 1 came out.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Titanfall makes a lot of sense. That was a long time ago.
A long time ago. And y'all were requesting for her to come back on the show. And he was like, you know what? It's been a while. We got to get back on the show. So Miss 5,000 Watts, say what up to the people.
Hello. I'm really excited to be here. Because like I said, it's been so long. We're old. It's been forever. So I'm really excited to get in and talk about games because there's been some banger games and a lot of discourse.
And
recently.
Links to all her socials will be in the description box below. We lost JG, but it's cool. We don't need him because I think he did play this game. Never mind.
You do need him. You do need him.
It's cool because we got a guest today and they're going to be ones leading this conversation. The first game we're talking about for leading conversations, No Rest for the Wicked. This is a new RPG top down that comes from the creators of Ori and the Blind Forest, and it recently entered early access, and it's been getting a lot of hype because not only does it have that unique perspective, but it has the art style a lot of people are loving. It's a challenging Souls-like game. And it launched in early access, I believe, with 3 areas with a lot of content, a bunch of different bosses. So you're the guest of this episode. Give us the good, bad, and the ugly on No Rest for the Wicked, Watts.
So No Rest for the Wicked is kind of an amalgamation of a bunch of different games. And the guys at Moon Studios said that they wanted to create the game of their dreams pretty much. And they're like, why has no one made this? I guess we'll make it. So it's a mixture of, like you said, Souls-like kind of combat, but it's got a lot of ARPG stuff where you've got super in-depth builds. There's random rolls on all of the loot you get. The loot that drops is random as well. And then you can create super strong builds. And then towards the end game, it starts feeling a bit more like an ARPG akin to like Diablo or something, because you can build into all of your abilities and stuff like that. But it's even got like Animal Crossing in there. You can buy your own house. You can buy a house. You can craft all the furniture to put in the house. You can like cut down trees and mine to craft your armor and your furniture. And a lot of the furniture you can use as well. So you can put like a sewing machine in there and you can make your own armor. So they're doing a lot of really cool stuff. Really, really cool. I like it a lot.
I totally missed the Animal Crossing part because I didn't even know that was in the game. How many hours did you put into the early access?
So currently I am at 65 hours.
Sheesh. And what do you feel like this is like the main thing that makes it stand out from? Because like I'm not gonna lie, when I was playing it, some people in the chat were like, "Oh, this looks cool," and then I seen a lot of people also say another Souls. Like, what do you feel like makes it stand out from like other Souls likes?
So I think one of the first things is the art. Like the art is crazy. I mean, if you've seen Ori and the Blind Forest or Will of the Wisp, you know that Moon Studios have such a unique and beautiful art style with their games. And this is in that game. And it's also got like a various different weather systems and time of day systems. So you can walk around the different areas and see it in various different weather and different times of day. So you really their art really gets to shine through that. But I think it's just the mixture of having Souls-like combat, which I do prefer out of other combat, just because I feel like I actually have to learn the boss, which I enjoy doing. But then you also have the random loot and the random loot rolls and all that stuff. And that really deepens it deepens my enjoyment of like finding new stuff when it drops. It's kind of like Neo in a way, because Neo is like kind of Soulsy, but they also have the random drops on armor and weapons, and you can kind of craft really crazy builds if you play for long enough. But yeah, and I also like cutting down trees. You know, you can be like, I'm gonna go fight this really hard boss. I'm gonna kick my ass, and then I'm gonna go take a break and cut down some trees and mine some stuff and cook, and then go decorate my house.
I was actually unaware of the random rolls part. Did you ever feel like you got frustrated with that, like exploring, like, or did you feel like it was good at giving you good equipment, like at the right time?
I didn't feel frustrated. I think it's because if you're someone who loves to explore, this game, you're going to really love this game. Because I was watching you, TBH, I was watching you play, and I was like, he missed like half the areas in this first part.
That sounds like him. That sounds like him.
That sounds like him.
Ethos, don't even talk this. Don't even.
Don't
make me spoil you.
I will definitely agree with that. That seems like something you do when you play games.
Yeah, whatever. I still have fun with the game, though. I like the game.
I'm glad you liked it, because I was like, if you enjoy it and you haven't seen like a bunch of other places, and not just seeing the places, but obviously that's a lot more opportunities for more loot to drop, so you can have different weapons. And there's like at the moment there's over 200 weapons in the game, and every single weapon has a unique moveset and a unique ability on it.
I thought I love that. I thought the camera was gonna bother me, but like it's cool. Like it works. It follows you well enough. I didn't really feel like there was a moment where like I wasn't able to time the combat correctly. So like I feel like the perspective in itself makes it different by using that camera. But then I also agree with you with the art, like kind of to add on to that. I feel like when you watch it on YouTube or if you watch a Twitch stream, it doesn't sell it correctly because there's a lot of compression when you watch a video online versus what's on your monitor. When you see it on your monitor, the art style is very crisp, and like I feel like it adds to like that level of immersion. But the combat very tight and concise. I feel like the hits really hit. I was very satisfied when I was like killing enemies. I was surprised the story, the voice acting was very good. I didn't expect much from that, but like I set up and I was engaged by it. And then also, I feel like the world is very, even though it's like dark and gritty and there's like a lot of stuff trying to kill you, it felt very welcoming. Even though I missed half the stuff, I was exploring and I wanted to explore.
Crazy? I'm looking at the Steam page right now for this game, and I see Watts in the.
What a nerd!
I see her on the Steam page playing the game.
I am on. I'm so my whole thing with No Rest for the Wicked. So I saw the trailer happen at the Game Awards, and I was like, "What is this?" And then it said Moon Studios, and I was like, "Well, Ori is like one of the most beautiful games I've played." So I was super excited to see them take on like an RPG version with their art. So I was really excited from the Game Awards. And then I got an email super early on before they did their showcase where they actually showed the game off and had some people stream it. And I got an email being invited to be a part of that. And I think I screamed and I was like, I'm invited to No Rest for the Wicked. I'm so excited.
Good God. What? Your character is thick as hell. What the?
They have thick thighs. They are thick. You think Stella Blade has the yams? No Rest for the Wicked.
Their character models are very interesting. I will say that
they are. They have long arms, but they make up for it with the very wide hips.
Oh yeah, I can see.
Jay, what's your take on it? How are you feeling about the game?
So this was a game that I do remember seeing this game, but I paid it no mind. It didn't look like a game I was going to be into. As soon as the game came into early access, I seen my mutuals, including Watts here, just rave about the game. Like, this game is amazing. I'm playing it. This is a contender for Game of the Year. And again, I wasn't going to play it. I was just going to skip it. I was like, I'm waiting on Hellblade. Like, that's it. I'm locked in. I'm waiting on it to come out. But then I got a chance to play it on the Twitch bounty. I said, you know what? Okay, I'll try it out, right? I'll try it out. And I was honestly surprised. Like, I was a little weirded out by, the character models at the beginning. I was like, I don't know why y'all are doing this.
They look like the ghouls from Fallout. Like, with white face.
It was very weird, but I was like, okay, whatever. Like, I'm not going to, spend too much time in it and go into it. And then when I started playing, I was like, yeah, this art style, like, outside of the characters, like, were actually pretty good. The story, in the beginning, I was just like, like, it didn't really move me at first. But then it started getting a little bit more interest as I was going along. Some of my nitpicks, because I love the gameplay, I love the technical aspects of it, because it definitely is so like just more in the top down ARPG style. The stamina I could deal with, because like I said, I play a lot of Soulsborne games, so they all have stamina. But the durability, that's the one thing I'm just like, if it wasn't durability in the weapons, I know that there are ways to make it better or decrease it, but I was like, it was just one of those things that initially, in the very beginning of the game, I was just like, why is this in here? Like, it was just pissing me off. So it was just a nitpick, but anybody who played any Soulsborne game to have that, you could just scroll past it. So.
Did you play like really early on in early access?
When you play? I'm probably saying.
Are you implying there's been updates?
Yeah, there's been like 3 or so updates to durability specifically. I think it's probably still not in the perfect spot, because now I feel like you can kind of just ignore it. So there needs to be a good spot, right, where it's like you have to pay mine a little bit, but you don't want it to be annoying. And it definitely was way too much early on. I was using daggers, which attacks fast, which makes your durability go down faster. And I was like, I'm having to fix this thing like every time I go to camp.
Yeah,
Crazy.
the repairing aspect. So I played, I would think first week, I would say. I think I played the very first week that it came out. So yeah, if they updated it, then, cool, I'll retract that. But it was just annoying in the very early stages of me playing it.
Yeah.
I do like the fact that, like, there is a map, but like, it's not a full map. Like, you really have to explore to open up the map. And there are a lot of, backtracking. There's like, in the beginning, the Animal Crossing aspect, like you said, you chop down a tree, but hey, you need a shovel in order to dig for things. You need this item in order to do this. So you can't go over here yet. So that was cool. Like in the first area that I was in, finding the item or buying the item or crafting the item, coming back, and then, exploring other areas of what I saw. I probably played around like 2-3 hours. So like I said, I definitely don't have 65 hours. Like I said, Hellblade came out, so it took my time away. But from what I played, and I know T-Base came in there like and was watching me play, it was actually really good. Like I was frustrated, obviously at points. So I was like, this is too hard, like I'm dying and stuff like that. But I could see the vision there. Like I can see where the team, was trying to take you. And there was just some other aspect that I had to try to learn, like the whole I forgot what the name is of like the areas that you I guess open up, kind of like in any Soulsborne game, a rest point or a fire or something like that.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, well, does this work as like a traditional, rest point? Like, can you fast travel between? I was like, I kind of can't. I was like, it was just like other aspect that I had to I had to rework my mind. It was like, oh, this doesn't work like a traditional Soulsborne game, but there it's sort of those elements there. So I, like I said, I like the vision that they had, and I can see why this game, is being, highly revered amongst people, especially, coming from their previous titles from the same studio. So I recommend it. I definitely thought it was a good game, and eventually I'll come back to it.
What do you think of the game?
It looks great. Absolutely stunning.
That's a good take. That's a good take.
It is stunning.
Very good take. Very stunning. I all I know is so I'm curious, Moon Studio, is that the same studio that had like the problem last year or something, or a couple years ago, or am I tripping on that?
There was an article that came out about Moon Studios, being like, I don't remember exactly what they said. I know there was like something about the creators were arguing a lot all the time or something and shouting, and they were very openly like using terms that are probably not good.
Oh,
No bueno.
okay.
Yeah.
No bueno. Okay.
So
well,
yeah, I don't know what it's like there anymore.
looks good though. You can have a thick character. I've definitely seen that, so that's definitely a plus, especially.
You can take your pants off, have a shirt that shows your butt, and then
See,
yeah,
there you go.
you get to have the
stellar Blade fans. There's
yeah,
No censorship there.
yeah, no censorship there. There's no complaining about that. Yeah.
Make my games American. What's the thing? I think my one knock on the game, as much as I like, and I don't know, maybe you can correct me because you said there's been a couple updates. I haven't played it since that first week.
Yeah.
Was the performance, and also to take my PC's old too, but it was running fine until I got to that first boss, and that's what made me rage quit. Not because I felt like I could beat it; it wasn't that hard.
Yeah.
But like the game was running fine. I got to that first boss, and the frame rate just started dropping like a motherfucker. And like for me, that's very frustrating to play a Souls-like game where you need to be tight and precise, and the frame rate is just all over the place. Some people were telling me afterward that it was the rain. You had to turn down the rain effects. That's affecting everybody's performance. But I don't know. Maybe you can give me some insight into that. Do you feel like that was bothering you, Watts?
So I didn't have any performance issues, but yeah, I've had made my computer somewhat recently. It was like maybe a year ago or something like that. But yeah, so there were for sure performance issues when it came out. I think they did like 5 hot fixes on performance, and then they did one big patch on performance as well. And they managed to knock their recommended settings down quite a bit. I think they recommended for like, I think it was for 1080, it was like they're recommending a 2060 Ti or something like that. And they managed to knock it down quite a bit. So it should be a lot better now, but I would be curious to see for anyone who was having problems with it, how it is now. Because yeah, I can't really comment on it because I didn't have any problems.
Yeah, I'm poor, so I get it. You just go ahead and say.
I experienced a little bit. Like I said, I experienced a little bit around the same area that T-Base was mentioning. Like when I got, I guess, past the first little area where like you wash up on shore. Like as soon as I got to the next area, I started to experience a couple of frame drops. But it didn't really bother me as much. Like I said, I was able to still play it, but I did notice in certain points, especially when it went to certain cutscenes, it did kind of it jumped a little bit at certain points. So I can see the frames there.
When is this?
Yeah, I'd be curious about it.
When is this game supposed to be finished, like fully?
So they don't know for sure because their whole thing with early access is that they really want to create the game with community input. They're kind of doing, I always say, I wish that more studios would do early access like this instead of it being like we need some extra money to bring the game to fruition, or we just want to kind of give you guys a demo. But they're creating the game with the community, so they haven't put any dates on any of their roadmap stuff, but they said at least through 2024. So maybe next year it'll come out. But yeah, they do have a roadmap. It's just got no dates on it, which I think is smart. Because if you end up finding that the community hates like half of your game, you're going to want to change that first before moving on to new features and new story and stuff.
And once it leaves early access, it's supposed to come to console, right?
Yeah, it's coming to console. I don't know about Switch yet. I know Switch can be a little tricky, especially if you have a lot of lighting like this game does. But yeah, definitely PlayStation, Xbox.
It's probably not.
It's probably not, unless it's a new Switch that's like a lot better. But probably not.
Maybe the Switch too, but
it works really well on Steam Deck if you want it handheld, so you can do that.
That works. That makes me think I need to try it again though, because I didn't know. I knew one update had came out, but I hadn't been keeping up with it. I didn't know like 5 or 6 had came out. That's good to hear that it's running better.
They did like 6 hot fixes in the first week. Which was crazy. And then they did one big patch. So that 6 total hot fixes, 1 big patch, and then I think they're working on another big patch as well.
Okay.
Yeah, I did keep seeing like on my like pretty much anytime I opened up Steam that I saw the game updating. So
it was all the time.
What it was, but yeah, it was definitely it was a lot.
It was constant.
Yeah, I think this game got lost for me as much as I liked it. It got lost for me because like soon after our next topic came out, which is Stellar Blade, which is a game that's been causing a lot of controversy and also been receiving a lot of love. I mean, before the game even came out, people were talking about censorship. She's too sexy. She's not sexy enough. People made a petition saying that she needs to be sexier. That petition was funny as shit because that's a very that's a very interesting videos on there. Then like a thing came out that one of the shops had like a hard R next to it, and people thought they were being like racist. I think it was just an honest mistake. I thought it was funny, by the way, too.
It was definitely a mistake. Yeah,
it's just a lot of press. But that being said, the game finally came out, and I feel like the conversation in the game kind of got lost in translation because there was so much hoopla around it. The game is finally out. I actually have it right here. And that's another. Oh,
you got the physical. That's the non-censored version.
Oh, bro, that's a gem. You got to hold on to it.
It is. I didn't even know.
So apparently, according to the report, I'm gonna stop you real quick. According to the losers who are crying about it, if you have the physical copy and you don't update the game, like if you don't let Sony update it, then it's the uncensored version with the original outfits.
I don't know. I feel like that petition. It's funny because I didn't agree with that IGN article, but I feel like that petition's starting to prove it. But anyways, no, funny enough, I bought the hard copy because kind of the conversation, I think we're going to get into it a little bit later because it's on the notes. The conversation surrounding game preservation with the thing that happened with Ubisoft and them pulling the game off of people's hard drive, The Crew, and then like a couple other games. I was like, I don't really like that shit. So then because I've only been buying digital games the past couple years. And I was like, you know what? I think I'm gonna get back into buying like hard copies again. Games that I'm like genuinely interested in. Like I'm gonna go back and probably buy like a copy of like Elden Ring and like like certain just, them heavy hitters basically. I was like, I think it's time to start building the collection back up because they're not preserving games and it'll probably be worth money one day. Or I could just have a really cool collection to put on my wall. So that's kind of my rule. I used to buy every hard copy for everything, even like obscure JRPGs and shit. Nah, stuff like maybe 2K, I'll buy that digitally, but like cool games like that, I'll buy hard copies. But yeah, we talking about Stellar Blade, new action RPG. If I had to describe it, to me, it feels like Sekiro had a baby with like Bayonetta. With a mix of some other stuff in there, because it's still definitely like its own thing. The soundtrack is done by the same people who did Nier Automata. It's fire, by the way. It's an open world action game full of cool. Like I miss games like this, man. Just simple, just beat shit up, bro. Like I don't know, maybe because I'm getting old. I'm just tired of having to play. I'm tired of Ubisoft games.
My back hurts.
It's a million things on the map. Like it is open world, but it's not as bad because there's not a shit ton of stuff all over the map. The focus of the game is primarily action, and you play as a character named Eve. You're trying to save humanity from like these aliens invading or something. I don't know. I'm not that far in the story. I'm just been exploring, enjoying the gameplay. Jay, how you feeling about Stellar Blade, man?
Yeah, I think Stellar Blade is awesome. Like I said, as far as story, like if you're looking for a good story, you can pretty much like point it, because I don't think that Eve, like as a whole, main character is really intricate. Like she's pretty dense, but you're not really there for the story. I would say you're really not there for the story, so you just kind of just deal with it. But like I said, the gameplay wise, like I think it's stellar, right? It's the gameplay, the gameplay is stellar.
Watch out now.
I know, right? I told Ethos, like I played the demo, right? And I was like, Ethos, you gotta fucking play this game. And I'm mad at you, Ethos, because you still ain't playing, bro. You still ain't playing.
The second game he hasn't played today. That's interesting. Go ahead, though.
Because I told him, I said the deflection mechanic. I said, this is Sekiro right here. I'm like, this is our thing, bro. Please fucking play it. And he did play it, but I will forgive you. You got a chance to redeem yourself, brother. You got a chance to redeem yourself. So please play it. But as soon as I played, I was like, yo, this is Sekiro, like on steroid, like Sekiro mixed in with like you said, Bayonetta or Devil May Cry. Like this is freaking awesome, right? Like she has a wide range of moves that you can acquire, level up. Not too many weapons, but you get a couple of different weapons, on the way as you continue to progress. The game is semi-open world. Like you can just go through it and like you said, just mess stuff up. Like she has a ton of dope moves in her arsenal. So like I said, like just playing all of that, I just thought it was a super dope game. Like I think it's very well polished. I would say, like if I had to nitpick and say outside of the story, what I find, just a little bit wonky is like sometimes the platforming elements is kind of wonky. Like I feel like Eve just kind of, does her own thing sometimes. Sometimes she auto mantles on things and you're like, hey, stop. Like I almost died one time because of that. But, that's just a small nitpick. And, people were saying in the beginning that the deflection was a little bit off. But there are, like, even if you're having a hard time with that, there's even an upgrade that makes that easier to deflect and easier to dodge. So with those elements, all baked in there, like I think that Solo Blade is like an awesome game. Like gameplay wise, it's freaking phenomenal. Story wise, like I said, you don't really care that much, but you're progressing through because you honestly just love the gameplay elements. And I think that the overall worlds, the music, like all of that is freaking dope. Like I love just the overall environment in the different worlds that you go to, and like you even have like some Dead Space elements. Like there are parts that you go through where you have to use your gun. You can't use your blade because you're being blocked by communication, so you can't use your blade. So you're literally just going through and like it's just Natibas like these freaking like they're even more transformed and they're just like in these small corridors like just trying to mess you up. So like even those elements like are super cool. Like it gives you a different element on just the main gameplay that you were playing. So I thought this game was freaking dope. Like I think that the studio did an amazing job. And forget what everybody is saying. Like the outfits are dope. Like I don't care about the outfits that people are crying about. The outfits are dope. I got the freaking Kill Bill outfit. This yellow,
the yellow one, that was fire. Yeah,
that one is so fire, bro. Like I think that they like art wise, they did such a great job on this game. Like and I think it's a nice like blend of like you said, all the other games that we're comparing it to. Like I think it's dope from top to bottom.
Yeah, I think this game knows exactly what it is, and it's better for it. It's not trying to be anything other than an action adventure game, and I like that because I feel like too many games nowadays are trying to check off too many boxes, and then they end up losing the plot. I want to kind of add on to sort of like the negative thing. I said in my first impressions video on my personal channel that the stealth is ass. Now that I'm further in the game, I want to retract that statement. Like it's not. You have to get the upgrade. Once you get
exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah. Once you get the upgrade, it's good. It's good. So like my only two nitpicks with this game is the same thing you said. The platforming is still ass. And then the story is not the best, but like for what it's trying to do for the most part, especially I think this is impressive because I think this is their first AAA game, like action.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, they stuck the landing for the most part. And like I'm curious to see what they do to build upon what I'd imagine is probably going to become some type of franchise. But I really like the game. What about you, Watts?
I love this game. It's like you said, it's definitely a character action game. It's not like a Souls-like. If you go in expecting a Souls-like, it's not going to be that. But it's super parry based, but it does have like all of the combos and the special moves and all that stuff of character action games, Bayonetta, DMC, etc. I've got like 38 outfits. I think there's a total of like 74 if you do New Game Plus, which is crazy. You don't have to pay for any of them. Normally they would be microtransactions, I'm sure. But yeah, like the combat is just really, really good. Like you said, it's their first AAA like console game. These guys make mobile games. So to come out and have combat that feels this smooth and the hitboxes is super good. The bosses have all been phenomenal. I've been really impressed by that. And I also really appreciate that it's certainly a game that knows what it is. It's not trying to even tell like a super deep story. It's got a story there. And I think you definitely can appreciate it more if you read a lot of the lore stuff that you pick up. I think if I was just playing the main story, I'd be a little lost maybe. But reading the stuff has really made everything kind of flesh out. But yeah, I'm loving it. The music is banging. You've got, I think it was 40 or 60% of the music made by the Nier Automata guy, and then the other one was like an in-house studio. So you got a mix of everything. You've got sections that are open world. There's like 2 areas that are open world. There's others that are more linear, and then they've got like the Dead Space survival horror kind of sections, which I was not expecting. I was really surprised by that. So they do a really good job of switching up the gameplay. You're not doing the same thing for too long. And if you're fishing, here's a hot tip. Put on the fishing accessibility settings and save yourself a lot of time. Because if you're unfamiliar with the way fishing works, first, they have one of the best fishing mini games in this game of like any game. I don't know how they did that, but the way that it works is you have to like press square and pull the fish in the opposite direction, and then you have to hold R2 in this like small blue portion of the circle, and of course you have the PlayStation controller kind of working against you. But if you put on the accessibility settings, you press square once and then you press R2 once, you don't have to hold it in that blue area at all, and you can just do all your fishing like that.
I'm gonna have to do that.
You're gonna want to do all the fishing.
Yeah.
The outfit that comes from that, I think, it's one of my favorite, if not my favorite.
You know what annoys me though about all the
wise, man.
You gotta fish. You gotta go fishing.
Right.
You gotta fish.
No, but what annoys me about all the outfits is they are cool, but I'm not wearing any of them because I'm trying to do the hard playthrough where you just wear the nude suit. So it's like I'm not even using them. It's like, like
that's why. Yeah, I was like, I want the game to be more difficult on the first playthrough because like after you do one, you can play on hard mode in New Game Plus. But I wanted it to be more difficult initially, and the way to do that is wearing no suit. But I was like, man, I got 38 suits. I need to wear them. They're so good.
Just to clarify too, because I feel like the way we're talking about the game, it might scare some people off. To clarify, I think this game is Souls inspired, but it's nowhere near as hard. I heard there's a difficulty spike towards the end of the game, but like where I'm at, I've been doing perfectly fine. I would say that it's like it's more akin in terms of difficulty to like Jedi Survivor than it is to like Elden Ring.
Yeah, definitely.
And another example too for like people who haven't played the game, when you die, you don't lose all your runes or whatever the currency is. You keep them. You keep all your XP basically. You just respawn and then you can just go fight again. So like it's nowhere near as hard. It's more like a traditional action game. It's more so like the combat I feel is like inspired in some degrees by Souls like. And then also another thing that surprised me about this game is the performance. If for their first AAA game, I'm running on performance mode on PS5, buttery smooth. And it makes me side eye like other studios. Because like you said earlier, this is a studio, they've been making mobile games. This is their first AAA game. And even on performance mode, the game is gorgeous and it runs crisp 60 FPS. So I'm kind of like side eyeing other studios. I'm like, I don't know, man. Maybe what some of these people are saying online is true. Like maybe some of y'all are just kind of rushing, or the publisher's rushing the product out. I don't know, but it feels like a finished game, which is like, it's sad that I even have to say that.
It is sad. Yeah.
In 2024.
It runs so well. Like I haven't had any crashes. I haven't had any bugs. Performance has been great. Yeah. It's been perfect.
I would love for this game to come on PC. I know that modders they're gonna tear it up. But
what kind of mods you want to see, Jay?
Nah, I don't want to say any mods personally. That's the other crowd. That's a crowd that's crying right now, buddy. But I think the game will look even better. Like the game looks great already. Like I was had people come on my stream. They were like, "Wait a minute! Like this game isn't on PC. Like what are you playing on?" I'm like, "PS5. It's PS5 exclusive right now." And they were like, "Oh man!" It was like this game's gonna look even better when it comes on PC. So I do agree with that. I mean, I'm playing day one anyway. But when the game comes on PC, I think it'll gain more traction and get another audience to it as well. So I think they definitely need to do that justice and bring it on PC sooner rather than later.
It's really good, man. It kind of makes me sad that I did hear a lot of people be like, I don't even want to play the game because the discourse is making me so tired. I don't want to deal with it. And that's really unfortunate because like we said, this is these guys' first console game. They've knocked that out of the park. And the game is genuinely really good. Like combat is so fun. If you like action games at all, I think you're gonna like Stellar Blade.
That's a very interesting take. I haven't heard that one because like those type of people I would ask, I'd be like, what does that have to do with your ability to have fun? Like,
I know, just stay off the internet.
Yeah, you don't got to participate in the discourse.
I feel like when people hear about it, then they get like too entranced in it. It's unfortunate. Like you hear about it once, you're like, oh man, like should I stay away? Like you're kind of just cautious about it, and then once you start reading more, then you're like, oh shit. Like I feel like people get guilty about it as well. They're like, damn, man, if they're like really doing this, and this, then maybe I shouldn't play it at all because, a fear of being judged or something. Like, it's weird. But like I said, you should do your own thing. Like, if you were planning on playing it anyway, like, just play it and forget what everybody else is talking about. It's funny, too,
because the super sexual aspect of it, like, it's damn near satirical. Like, I don't take it seriously. I think it's funny. Like, I'm like, bro, that's why I said this game knows what it is. Like, it's not trying to be anything less, bro. I think it's fucking funny. And like y'all gotta relax. I seen you yawning over there, Ethos, though. What you think about the game?
Great game. I rate 8 out of 8.
Did you play the demo? Like, because you remember, I don't know if you remember, Jay, last podcast we talked about the demo. He didn't play it. Now the full game has came out. Did you play the demo at least?
I will be waiting for the PC version to launch.
Oh my god.
That's crazy. This man is
But I will
ethos.
be playing the game, as well as Final Fantasy 16, which I will be waiting for to drop on PC.
You're really waiting for 16?
I'm gonna play it on PC.
Did you like 16 watts?
I really liked 16.
Oh, this is crazy.
Oh, you're a
person.
hater.
I really
You're a
like
hater.
You're the first
Those
person I
boss
heard
fights,
say
those boss
You're a
fights are some
hater.
of like the best boss fights.
See, that's why I didn't listen to TBH.
Gameplay is great. That story though, that pacing though.
The story was incredible, man.
Oh, see?
It was
Okay.
Which
thank
was
you.
your favorite
I-
character?
Probably mid.
Okay.
I love mid.
I mean, based
That's
off
great.
of the balance of probabilities, I guess somebody had to like the game. That makes sense.
I really like it. But I used all of like the counter abilities, you know, the ones where it's like this, if someone uses a spell, like this counters that. If someone uses like a physical attack, this counters that. I was playing it like Sakura.
Yeah, none of the characters like really I gravitated towards, so those cutscenes felt even longer. But hey, maybe Ethos.
Were
will
you
like it.
watching active lore? Were you reading the lore?
I have to read the. Well, you know what? I was about to say, why would you say that to me? Then I realized you are a Destiny player. That makes sense. Yeah, I know I'm not reading no damn lore.
I knew that.
I'm not
man.
going to
You
read
better
the cards.
put
No.
That feature is so good. It's so good. There's a map, and then it shows you like all the political ties and how the ties change throughout the game. And then you, in a cutscene, you can press the button. It will show you like who the characters are, what the area is, in case you forgot, and it just helps you like stay on top of the story.
It just that one did not hit for me. And then now we got the rebirth. We got the rebirth. That's another 100-hour game, bro. These games just
You didn't beat
never.
that one either, right?
Nah, I'm gonna go back to that after Stellar Blade. It's not because I hate it. It's just these games never end, bro. It's
Rebirth is a lot. Even if you're beelining, it's like 70 hours. It's crazy.
yeah.
I'll wait for that one also to come on PC.
It takes a toll. It takes a toll. But I do like Rebirth. It is fire. But yeah, overall, I think we would all recommend.
Definitely. I have the playlist up on YouTube right now on my.
Oh, you listening to the OST? You super nerdy.
It's so good. It's so good.
Yeah.
Just wait until you get to like towards the end. There's some banger tracks in there. It's crazy.
How long did it take you to beat the game?
I'm actually at the very end of the game, like the final part, but I'm at like, I think I'm at like 50 hours. But I've collected all the cans because that comes with an outfit. I did all the fishing because that's an outfit. So I don't want to miss out on any outfits.
A lot of collecting.
It's really funny because it's like all this discourse of like, she's too sexy and everything. And everyone who's actually playing the game is just playing like pretty princess dress up with their character. They're like picking an outfit and matching the earrings and matching the glasses.
I told you, CB. I said on my video, I said they're playing Barbie doll dress up.
They are. And
doing it
people
for
in
real.
chat are like, these are my favorite earrings with this outfit. I'm like,
Look at
yeah,
this.
But I mean, the game does have like that's why it's so weird. There's so much conversation behind the sexual stuff. I'm like, yo, it has fire character design in it. Like,
it does.
Yeah, I'm like, it doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman. Like, there's no way you cannot appreciate some of this character design to the point where like. Kind of what you were just saying, like the people who are actually playing it or playing dress up and playing the game, the people who are playing, like making the petition, they're so active, like on social media to the point I'm like, are y'all even playing the game? Like,
They don't play games. The most active people talking about games on Twitter, I'm fairly certain they do not play any games.
You could tell in the beginning with Metacritic, it was actually like above a 90. Like when the game first came out, it filtered down to like 80 something, like 82. But I was like, yeah, y'all are lying. I was like, y'all are playing this in private, but complaining in public. Y'all have to be. Because y'all don't want to miss out. Y'all getting FOMO, and y'all are just complaining and making this petition and trying this. I don't know. I don't even know what they were trying to prove at this point because you haven't heard Shift Up or Sony saying anything about it.
Which is always
all.
funny.
Like they've been quiet.
It kind of reinforces my argument that like people hate IGN, they hate Metacritic until it actually benefits their argument. Because people talk about they hate Metacritic all the time, but then you hop on it and boost the scores for like Stellar Blade to like stick it to the man. Like we deserve to be sexy. I was like, bro, just enjoy your games. Like it's not
like they were giving it hundreds, bro. Like it was ridiculous. They were giving the game straight hundreds.
I don't agree with that score. What do you say, like a 90 something? To me, it's like a solid 8. And there's nothing wrong with it. It's a good game, but like I feel like if the story was a little bit better and they clean up a little bit some other things, then like maybe the next one I'll bump it up to a 9. But based off what I played, it's a solid 8, and I'm cool with that score.
I was actually surprised about the story and the voice acting because I play Nike, Goddess of Victory, which is their mobile game. And
So glad you explained that.
it was like,
that one?
yeah, that's their game. Is Nikkei.
You know what? This tracks.
It all makes sense. They like that sexy shit.
That tracks.
The story is legitimately really good in Nikkei, and the voice acting is also really, really good in English and all the languages.
Are they like in the same universe or something, or are they separate?
I don't think so. No, there are similar themes because Nikkei are like weapons created to fight wars that humans don't want to, and Stellar Blade kind of has like a similar thing going on.
Do you indulge in a lot of mobile games?
No, I just play Nikkei.
Okay. I was gonna ask if you played that Will Smith game, but never mind.
No, I didn't know about it until everyone was talking about there was a Will Smith game that came out.
Nobody did.
That's crazy. Will Smith too, and nobody knew about this.
I don't get it. Weird.
Wait, say the name of the game again.
Nikkei, Nikke.
Is it supposed to sound like naked?
I mean,
have you Google the game?
I don't know how to spell that.
Take a look.
Just
Nike, bro, like Nike.
Oh, Nike. Okay.
Yeah, just Google it.
Nike game.
And maybe gameplay, maybe.
Yeah.
Gameplay after that.
Search gameplay. Look at YouTube
gameplay. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I found it. Yeah, I see it. Very very It's the good. Yeah.
I mean, it's
a lot of personality. I see 2B's in this.
Lot of
2B is in there. Yes. Yep.
Very
Yoko Taro famously said he will whore out 2B to anybody who wants to make her collaborate in anything. He does not care.
Put her in
and her ass is massive.
She's in Rainbow Six Siege. She's literally operated Rainbow Six Siege.
Oh, put her in multiverses. There you go.
They
just put her everywhere.
She's in Soul Calibur. She's in a lot of games.
She's in Soul Calibur?
Yeah, she was one of the DLCs for Soul, with one with that had Geralt in it.
I must have. Well, that one was ass. Yeah, I quit that one along. Yeah.
Oh, it was not ass.
What? You think Soul Calibur 6? Bro, hey, say that into the mic. Say that Soul Calibur 6 was a good game. Say it.
The one that dropped, the most recent one.
With Geralt, yes. The community hates that game.
No, I like that game. I didn't think that was bad, but I was a casual at playing it. But I enjoyed that one. I'll say it to my face.
It's not a favorite in the community.
I liked it because Geralt, Arivia, and 2B were in it. That was the only reasons why I cared about it. So, and I like it.
Also, this guy, we gotta keep in mind, this guy played Mortal Kombat on the Switch. Your opinion is invalid on fighting.
No, I don't want to hear it. I beat you already at Tekken. I don't want to.
Here we go.
Continue the lies. You didn't even play no games. What are we talking about?
I don't want to hear it. Yapping.
What's the name? Let's talk about a game that surprisingly has been getting a lot of hype. It hit. I've been seeing it a lot on my For You page on TikTok. I started seeing videos on YouTube. When it was first announced, I feel like a lot of people dismissed it. Oh, it's just an Overwatch clone with Marvel characters, specifically Marvel Rivals. This is a new multiplayer hero shooter from NetEase, who's also famous for publishing a bunch of mobile games. I think the only I don't even know if it counts as a AAA. It's more like a AA game. Is Naraka Blade Point. That's probably their biggest game.
Oh yeah.
So this is in my opinion, this is their first real AAA game with Marvel Rivals with this IP. This week it's in closed alpha. You had to sign up on the website, and then if you hit level 6, they give an extra code to give to a friend. And the response has been overwhelmingly positive, I've seen on social media. And now it's starting to kind of build like a buzz up, and people are saying like, oh, maybe this is actually a threat to Overwatch. And the reason people are excited, just kind of break it down, it is a 6v6 multiplayer hero shooter. It has these cool team abilities, like certain characters get certain boosts when they work together, like Magneto and the Scarlet Witch, because their daughter and father, they get a damage boost. Rocket Raccoon can ride on Groot, which will give it a damage boost. So there's a bunch of different characters and lineups. If you use it, there's a certain level of strategy to it. The verticality, in my opinion, is much more compared to Overwatch. Characters like Storm and Iron Man, they never have to touch the ground. They stay in the air. That man, Iron Man, is a cheat code. I've been playing this game. He feels like Pharah with none of the weaknesses. It's actually insane. Every character feels viable. Like I said, 6v6 online multiplayer. Apparently it's going to have a story that's not in the alpha. Something about the story has to do something about Dr. Doom is messing with the timeline and he has to fight his future self. I don't know. We'll see when the full game comes out. But Jay, I know you've been spending some time with it. How are we feeling about Marvel Rivals?
gonna keep it short and sweet. I mean, it's not a bad thing, but this definitely is Overwatch with a Marvel skin. I mean, like we're just not even going to sugarcoat it. Like you already mentioned, Iron Man is fair. Like we were literally just going through the roster. We was like, oh, Storm has Lucio abilities. Like this, like we were just looking at it. It was like it was like, bro, it was like a carbon copy, but the game is fun. Like I think it's going to gain steam because one, Overwatch is dying. Like I said, I don't know what's going on with that game. They made a lot of missteps with that. Everybody knows the Marvel IP, so that's already like it already had people intrigued. And it's third person. And, you know, it's not just a typical, hey, you know, you're doing the first person Overwatch. I think if they would have done that, then I think it still would have gained steam. But I think the third person aspect gives a little bit of a different style to playing it. But like you said, it has the same game modes. Even some of the stages.
One other thing
really
besides
similar.
The team boost is different too. There's destruction in the environments. I got to add that too.
I was about to say that. Yeah.
I would say it is inspired by Overwatch, but it does enough different from me playing it to where I'm like, okay, I could actually see this competing. But go ahead, my fault.
Yeah, the destructible elements, that's definitely a nice, you know, element that Overwatch does not have. Verticality, you already explained. Like I said, the abilities are cool, but like I said, you know, it's not like we haven't seen it already. So I do want people to go in. Like, if you like Overwatch, I think you're automatically going to like this, no problem. And if you like Marvel, I think that, you know, when you don't like Overwatch, I think you'll, you know, want to play it. Especially if you're like, you know, third person type of hero shooters or, you know, fighters. But it's cool. Like, so I definitely enjoy it. The thing I'm most excited about is, you know, the immense amount of character that they can add to the game, because Marvel's IP and their catalog is freaking huge. So there can be so many characters that can be on the game once everything is said and done. And, you know, I think that if they can get the competitive aspect going with this, which I think, again, if Overwatch continues to go downhill, then it could just eat its food, then I think they'll be able to survive for a lot longer. But like I said, it is Overwatch with Marvel characters, so the rumors were true. that definitely is an aspect, but the game is fun. I do enjoy the game a lot.
I guess where I wouldn't call it like a straight up just. I think you're downplaying the third person aspect. I think that does play a big role in how people will perceive it. Because when I was playing with my lady yesterday, she doesn't like Overwatch, but she was like, I fucking love this game. And I'm sitting there playing it, and I'm like, I wonder why she feels this way. Nomad said the same exact thing. And then Nomad was like, he's like, I just like the fact that it's third person. So then we're playing it, and I'm like, you know what? The third person, the way it makes it different from the first is it's easier to play as a team and see more of the field with that extra field of view. It does kind of completely change the game compared to Overwatch. And I think the pacing in this is much faster than Overwatch. Like the matches last like 10 minutes. That was one thing I liked about it. You get in and out of a game. I was like, this nice. I was like, this is what I want to see, because like I'm tired of these 100-hour games once again.
We're going to accept Nomad's opinion on third person versus first person. You know, historically he hates first person games.
You say
he hates first person games.
You say he gonna kill this game? I just thought about it. He does like it. He does kill games he likes.
But Nomad likes third person. He likes third person games, so I figured he would automatically gravitate towards this. Well, that's what your lady though. Yeah, I think she would be a different case study, because I mean, who knows? Like, say it may be Marvel for her. It may be the third person aspect. We never know. It may be both.
And that's what I'm saying, between the third person and then the superhero aspect of it, because I think that will help it appeal to a much wider audience compared to Overwatch. That is a much more hardcore game. But I'm thinking about all the characters they can add, just the potential of the game and the fact that it's free to play. That's what I'm saying. It's like, I'm not saying it's going to come in here and clap Overwatch, but I do think they are kind of side eyeing it. It is a threat. It's much better than I thought.
I need to see how these microtransactions.
I agree.
Once we see that, we need to see how their rollout is going to be, because they're going to microtransaction this game out the ass. We just have to see how they're going to do it, because that can literally make or break this game for me personally. I think that's going to be a huge aspect, because again, season pass is one thing. We already see that in there, but we need to see how much they're going to nickel and dime you with these microtransactions. Because being free to play, this game ain't really going to be free. And if it ends up being a lot of free to play to win elements in it, and then we're going to be, you know, singing a different tune.
Please keep his skins.
Just make skins, man. People spend more money on skins anyway.
And they already got some fire skins in the alpha. That was another thing. We was looking in the menu. I was like, oof. I'm like, people are gonna like this shit because they're putting some. It's not like some there are some like lazy colorways, but there was already in the alpha. There's a lot of like just really different skins for characters. And I'm sitting there thinking, I'm like looking at just Spider-Man alone. All the different people are gonna pay for that
Spider-Man,
shit.
like, are the skins like the different spider people?
Yeah, well, I don't know about Spider-Man. Like I looked at Star-Lord, Iron Man. I was looking at Iron Man. The characters I looked at, they had they put effort into the skins. They were very different, like different eras and shit like that. So that's what I'm saying. I can see Spider-Man's going to get a bunch of different ones is what I'm saying, the potential of
I think I saw Hobbs. I saw Spider-Punk. Is he his own character or is he like a skin of Peter?
I didn't play a lot of Spider-Man. I'm not gonna lie, that motherfucker hard to play. I've sucked with him.
It's a skin. It's a skin.
Thank God, by the way, he's the hardest character to play in the game right now, in my opinion.
He's the most popular, which is kind of crazy to me.
Well, yeah, so I tweeted about it.
Popular character.
I was like, yo, thank God they made, because he's the most, in terms of toy sales, I believe Spider-Man is the most popular superhero in the world.
Super popular.
Yeah, kids love him. So he's gonna have a high pick rate, but he is hard to play because his swinging mechanic, zipping all over the place, he moves like a crackhead. It's hard to control. So like,
is it better than Avengers?
Yes. So the physics are good. Don't get it twisted. The animation and first of all, it's not hard to do that. Second,
I know.
The physics and the animations, it's really good. It's just he moves really fast. It's gonna take somebody with some cracked out reflexes to play him because he has to get in and out. He's 100% a glass cannon. He's Genji really.
He's a Fortnite kid, got it.
Yeah, so he's gonna piss a lot of people off because a good one will fuck you up, but a bad one you're gonna lose definitely.
Yeah, like it's hard. I would say it's harder definitely for the melee characters to get in. Like Black Panther's he's kind of difficult to get in to play with. Yeah, we've seen a lot. I mean, like I said, he's easy to play. Fast. He's easy to play, but like I said, if you're dealing with someone who's going to range you out like a Storm or Iron Man, you're already going to find it hard to even get to. Like he does have, like he has a spear. With that. He has a spear.
Yeah, because his spear comes back. It's a real small cooldown. You could just keep. First of all, I don't know how I feel about that. They made him a spear chugger, but what's the name?
Skill wise, I think you can do good with all the characters.
But his spear has an AoE on it. I feel like that balances it.
Scarlet Witch is a freaking problem. Storm is a problem. Iron Man is a problem, and all these characters can, they have incredible range and they can fly. Is it still like the oh man, you guys don't play Overwatch, so I couldn't ask.
I don't know the new characters.
Ask anyways.
Yeah, ask anyways for the content.
Do you guys know what the goats meta is? I'm assuming no.
No,
because you guys don't play Overwatch like that. Watts probably knows. I don't know if Watts is.
I've heard of it. I haven't played Overwatch since.
It was it's like a format. Yeah, it's like a format that they would like. So do they separate them like this is a tank, this is DPS?
Yeah, it tells you the class.
Yes.
Okay, like goats was like I can't remember the exact format.
You're worried about a meta, is what you're saying.
Well, that was the problem Overwatch had was like it got to a certain meta, and there was like specifically it was like Lucio, Moira, but I still blame Bridget. Bridget ruined Overwatch. I'll stand on that. She absolutely ruined that game, and they have never been able to fix it since they made that crazy contraption of a character. But effectively, I was just curious if you already saw like if there was like a format where it was just like, all right, we need a tank and an off tank, then we need one TBS, and then we need two healers. Like has that shown up?
That's
yet,
what me and Nomad were talking about last night. It's kind of hard to gauge because it's in alpha. I'm just saying first impressions. I don't want to eat my words.
I'm just saying, have you seen anything?
It didn't feel like that, and that was one thing that I noticed that was different and I liked. It felt like every character was viable. And you were kind of allowed to play as long as you had I think you do need at least one tank, but after that
I would say I'd be shocked if you can play without it.
Yeah, you need at least one tank and maybe one AoE character, but you don't have to have two tanks, two this, two. It didn't feel super specific because you do have to make adjustments throughout the game. There were certain times where I felt like I had to switch characters.
Do you select your role? Like do you pick your role before
you just pick a character?
No, you just pick a character.
It literally lets you do whatever.
Oh, okay.
There's going to be a competitive mode, so I would imagine they probably would do it with that. But right now, you could just only play quick play.
Yeah, because I'd be curious how much they're going to implement, because I think that was Overwatch's issue. I think early on when because I played a lot of one, was like them adding the role queue and adding these specific things in, because that was like a big issue that they had initially with like getting people to play what they needed to play and people not picking the stuff they need to, and then people getting mad. You know how it's like playing Paragon with people who've never played MOBAs, and you're just mad at them for not playing what they need.
Why are we not picking a tank? And
that's how it is with like.
And I think this game attracts those people because I had a game I went 29. My first game I went 29-5. I had one I went 32-2. Another one I went fucking 19-0, I believe. I think this game is going to attract a lot of more casual people. So it's not quite there yet with the whole meta thing.
Does it do the thing like Overwatch where it's like you have to play this character to counter this character, and if you don't,
yes. So that's what I'm saying. You have to make adjustments, like in the game, the counter pick. Soldier 76 is the Punisher, basically. He's his own thing, but he's basically Soldier 76.
I thought it looked. Oh, okay. No. I'm thinking Star-Lord looks like Tracer to me. Right?
Star-Lord is Tracer. Star-Lord is 100% Tracer.
Star-Lord is Tracer.
I saw the reload.
Reaper. He's not exactly Tracer. Yeah, he's Tracer. He's a combination of things.
One of his moves is Reaper's ult.
Yeah, it's a combination. He's broken. He's broken.
That sounds
Scarlet Witch.
This is fucking bro.
Yeah, that sounds good. Does he like go back in time? Does he have like the reversal thing, or does?
No, he doesn't have that move.
But you know who does have it? Scarlet Witch. Not the reversal, but the phasing, like Reaper, where she can get out of action basically.
Right.
Yeah.
And then Magneto.
That's why I said he took a lot of moves, bro. They took a lot of moves.
I don't know who Magneto is.
Characters.
He has to be a tank, right?
He's a tank.
Magneto is a tank. Yes, Magneto, Groot. What's their Penny Parker is in there. Hulk. Oh. Yeah, those are the tanks.
You know who Diva is?
You said Diva. You said they're tanks, right?
Yeah.
So Diva was a tank. Who are the tanks again?
I just want to see if you can guess who you think is the
Magneto, Hulk, Penny Parker, and who's the other one?
Because she has an actual mech.
Okay, so that's what you would think. You would think Penny Parker is Diva. It's the Hulk. No, it's the Hulk.
It's not Groot. It's not Groot either.
That would be funny.
The Hulk.
He's literally, it threw me. It's fucking funny to see because he starts off as Bruce Banner.
Does he nuke everybody? Does he
No, he starts off as Bruce Banner. You turn into the Hulk, and then when they drop your health, he turns back into Bruce Banner, and he has a pistol. That's
and he just had a gun. Yeah,
it was so funny to see. I'm like, wait, this is Diva.
That's cool.
You get Penny Parker, right?
No, Penny's her own thing. Yeah, she's not Diva.
That's actually cool. Okay, I give credit for that. That's cool. That's when you steal something that's funny. That's actually funny. Yeah. I
was like, wait a freaking minute. I was like, no,
I've seen this before, and it's so funny when he becomes Bruce. He's completely useless. I uploaded a clip of me hitting him.
Just like Diva.
The Punisher is like one of the most slept on OP characters. He's actually really fucking good in the game. Like he's like Soldier 76, but he hits like a truck way harder. I dropped a Hulk, and then he turned into Bruce, and I hit him with a smoke grenade, and then they can't see and they get stunned, and then he got jumped. That shit was funny. But the Punisher is cool too. He gets a turret, so you can take people out of the sky and stuff like that. There are characters that are obviously like, oh, this is Overwatch, and I do feel like there's some things that are like it's its own thing. I feel like it does enough, especially with the verticality and the environmental destruction. But I do agree with JG. I want to see the business practices, especially because it's NetEase. How expensive is that stuff going to be? I know you said you didn't get a chance to play it because you didn't get a code, but from the outside looking in, Watts, like, what are you thinking about it?
So I was really impressed by their art initially, because that's kind of the first thing that I think I was seeing is lots of people were talking about the art. And that actually lends it pretty well to hopefully they just stick with outfits, because if the art is banging, people are going to want to pay for that skin if they see really good art. But yeah, I'm definitely interested in playing it. You know, I like arena type PvP games, and this one definitely looks interesting. So I'd love to try it. Hopefully I can get a code soon.
I believe going to the art, this is another game. I feel like the compression on YouTube and Twitch, it doesn't sell it. When you see it on the monitor, the art looks really good, and I agree with you. I think that's gonna sell a lot of skins for people. I was also surprised how optimized the alpha is. Like I said, I got an old PC. It runs fine for me.
It's stylized, right?
Yeah, so it's not like a super intensive game.
Art-wise, it reminds me a lot of Valorant. Like Valorant had a very striking art style. They're like key art and stuff like that. Like if you look at like 2D art of like how striking it is, not the in-game models, but the like, 2D illustration, you'll notice like it's a very similar like stylized but like sharp edges and make it look like really like burst. That's kind of how they did a lot of their initial characters. So that's what I saw when I first looked at it. I was like, is this like Valorant? And then I saw the game. I was like, oh, it's more like Overwatch, which would have been cool, weird, but yeah. I mean, I'm down to try it whenever they give me a code, but you know.
Yeah, I'd like to try it.
I was surprised when I looked it up. I thought it was going to come to console. There's no console announcement right now. It's just PC only.
They're probably just going to keep it on PC. Kind of like how.
Why do you think that is?
Overwatch did the same thing. Like they were PC first. They didn't go to.
It might just be easier for them to like get everything working real good on PC before they go to consoles. They should definitely go to consoles. There's going to be a ton of like Marvel fans wanting to play.
Yep, and that'll get them excited. Is this going to be free to play, or do you got to pay? Oh,
no, free to play. That's why we're talking about the microtransactions.
That's why we're scared.
Like, they're going to get their money. So that's why I said
you can pay for this Hulk.
Is there any? Yeah, like what do you think is the worst thing to do? I mean, they can't do worse than Overwatch. Like,
as long as it's not
like
pay
Overwatch,
to win, I don't care.
As long as it's not pay to win.
Just make it
I really don't care.
Boxes aren't a thing anymore, so
Overwatch
just have to be scanned, right?
Yeah, as long as they don't follow Overwatch 2's model. Like, it was so bad that people literally were like, "We'll take." I knew it was bad when my friends later told me we'll take the first game's monetization over the second.
People were begging for loot boxes.
And I said, "What the hell is wrong with
What
y'all?"
is going on?
What happened where it's that bad? What happened with the business?
They put the characters behind the battle pass, which you have to pay for.
Right.
So the characters were no longer. I think they reverted on.
Yeah, they recently freed them for everybody.
They freed the slaves.
Oh my lord!
But I know. After you made that Spear Tucker joke, no, you don't get to say that.
He does.
But,
okay, when you get the game, you get. Yo, what is man? He throws the spear. I'm like, yo, Black Panther got a lot of cool shit. Black Panther, Black Panther, his suit literally can absorb energy, and they could have gave him an AOE once he built up enough. They gave him spears to throw. I'm like, really? Like, all right.
But yeah, they reverted that. But I think a lot of people were pissed because they made the skins like it's in a store, but it's like a rotating store, and then they're expensive. Like
they're so
like
expensive.
$20-$30. I know they did that K-pop thing, and they were like $20 to $30 a pop. So you had to pay like almost $100 to get all the skins. So like people were pissed by that.
You also used to be able to, because of the loot boxes mostly, you used to be able to play to gain loot boxes during events to get event skins, and now you can't do that. So
you just gotta buy them straight.
You gotta buy them.
If you're broke, hey, good luck, broke boy.
That's me.
If you look at them, you can't buy them.
Anytime I can not spend some money, I would.
I'm just happy y'all said Marvel's is good. I can push my agenda now. Push it further.
I think it has.
I'm happy to hear it's good, honestly, because like so many of these games come out and they're either not good or they don't last very long. We don't know if it's going to last long.
Now,
obviously,
how much did they pay y'all to say this? According to the internet.
He said the topic, man. It's like Segway.
It's because he ain't played nothing, Jay. That's why he's shipping the topic.
Go ahead and answer that question.
All right, so what Ethos is talking about is there's some drama that's also been surrounding the game, unfortunately. Even though people are liking the game, a tweet came out that went viral. And apparently, so you could sign up to just play the game like a normal person, but apparently there was like some insider content creator program where they gave them super early access to the game, and in exchange they had to sign a contract, and I guess that contract leaked online, and people found some stuff in there that they didn't like. Let me bring that up. Specifically, there's a non-disparagement agreement inside of that contract. And specifically, it says the content creator agrees to not make any public statements or engage in the discussions that are detrimental to the reputation of the game. This includes, but is not limited to, A, making disparaging or satirical comments about any game-related materials such as in-game features, characters, or music, and B, engaging in malicious comparisons with competitors or belittling the gameplay or differences of Marvel rivals or providing subjective negative reviews of the game. And since you're being a smartass, Ethos, how you feeling about this this news that came up about this contract, about these content creators are getting not necessarily paid, but, you know, they sign a contract that allows them not to say anything negative about it?
I don't know. I'm a little indifferent about it. I mean, you could choose not to sign it, but you sign it. Like, I don't know. I get how, I guess for early take of an alpha, you're not necessarily, maybe you don't want people to just like, how do I word that? I don't even know how to word this. I would be concerned about people who are just trying to like shit on the game. And I wonder if that's why it's raised. Like, you can't just go out there and make a video just shitting on the game, make a whole video. You know how, YouTubers that do this, like, game is terrible, blah, blah, blah. Like, yeah, like rage bait stuff. Like maybe that's the way that they're trying to counter and say like, hey, if you want to get early access to this, you can't just run off on the internet, make a video, say, I got early access to Alpha. Let me tell you, this shit is garbage. This is the worst shit I've ever seen in my life. Da, 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 da. But at the same time, I mean, like, there's easy ways to be critical of something, right? And not necessarily be negative about it. I think we've all in this room done it at one point where there might be something or an aspect of a game or a game that we just don't like. We're just like, hey, I don't really think I'm like messing with this part of the game or this for this and that reason. I don't really think, like, according to how the contracts word, I don't think that necessarily would like cause you legal issues. I think it's just more of just like intentionally like like Kroby catting it. That's what I should say. Kroby catting the game.
Clearly having an agenda. Yeah.
Yeah, trying to make a video where you're trying to post like as much negative stuff as you can to compile it into a video to say like this thing's terrible. Especially when your game is like alpha and it's still early and it's like, hey bro, like we're still working. But at the same time, it's like you still want to get feedback. But I don't necessarily think this contract's just stating like you can't give us feedback. Like I don't think that's what it's really trying to do. I think it's more just trying to stop people.
I got a few opinions on this. First one, I'm going to go ahead and say, in the defense of content creators, this, first of all, I didn't sign it. I got a code from the Discord. But the people who are part of this program, in the defense of them, I think what happened, because you know how, kind of like what you were saying, Ethos, the internet sees a story, they run with it for engagement, just trying to shit on people. I think in the defense of content creators, I think what this actually proves is motherfuckers don't read contracts. Because I have a hard time believing that anybody who's got 100,000 plus subs, who spent years building this fan base, building this credibility, is going to risk their credibility of their platform and their brand to have early access to a NetEase game. Like, get the fuck out of here. So it is bad that I that's what I think. I think motherfuckers didn't read it. It probably was in some fine print release. Go ahead. Go ahead. I want to hear it.
I would disagree with you just because I know content creators on this platform who have literally pushed the whole I care about proper games and developers who screw over the consumer, you know, the whole like pro-consumer type of like rift on YouTube about like I care about the consumers. I've seen those people get swept into the engine of like getting flown out or doing an event and them actually covering a game that actually objectively came out really bad. I'm not gonna name no names. If people know what I'm talking about, they know who I'm talking about. They know what I'm talking about, what game I'm talking about. But there were certain people, Anthem. I'll also put out, what else? Payday. The third game, there's a good example of one where I saw a lot of those content creators who were up on their high horses talking about, these developers, they screw over the consumer stuff. But then when they went out and got those little masks on, they were the first ones making content, not showing, like, it was a whole controversy. Like, they didn't talk about any of the negatives of the game. Then they tried to damage control it. Then they finally were like that, I'm not going to name no names, but you know who exactly.
Wait. What does that have to do with the contract, though?
I'm saying the thing that you said was that I don't think that people would actively like sign something that they knew that they couldn't say negative. I disagree with that. I think there are content creators who will, like, even if they knew that, they would still sign it.
I'll give you that. I'd argue that's a small percentage. I refuse to believe people that many people are that damn stupid.
I think bigger YouTubers who want to make sure they stay relevant will sign that type of contract so that they can get first dibs. All those Destiny YouTubers, or not, I'm not Destiny. I don't know why it's a Destiny. All those,
you can't wait to get back. You can't wait to get back.
All those, I'm sorry, not Destiny. All those Overwatch YouTubers who right now know the game is dry and has a problem right now. They would, I think all of them would sign that for an opportunity to, except for like the pro players. I think like that's why Siegel, I think, was the one that brought this. I saw his tweet about this.
But he was the one.
It would make sense why a pro player wouldn't want to sign this because obviously their mindset's different. But a content creator one, I can see how they would sign this if they're like, well, our channel currently is like in a rut. We're not really making revenue. Here's a hot brand new game with a big IP name release on it. Like it's Marvel. I guarantee you 3/4 of them would sign it, and probably have signed it without even caring, even if they did know.
So for the dumbasses, I'm not speaking to them. For the dumbasses who generally just didn't read this contract and didn't know any better, shit happens, right? I'm going to give you guys a tip. I understand there's a lot of legal jargon in these contracts, but nowadays there's no excuse. There's this thing called AI. You can literally take the PDF file, put it in your favorite piece of AI and say, read this PDF file, and summarize it into bullet points for me. Are there any red flags that I should be aware of that could be detriment to my credibility? Something along the lines of that. That should be like the prompt. Do that from now on for the dumbasses that just didn't know any better. But I see your point of view. I can see, now that you break it down, I can see some people, I guess from my standpoint, I guess I'm just looking at it from my bubble. I'm like, I refuse to believe you people are like, that's like for Marvel rival alpha codes, like you needed that bad.
I mean,
like,
people will sing and dance for anything. Like we've seen this time and time again. Like people are very fickle. As going back to Ethos's point, like people like anything that's hot, that's new, that can make them relevant, they will sign it.
You know when Overwatch
whatever
went into alpha? Do you remember that? Do you remember how insane that was? I remember because
that was very hype.
I didn't play. You talking about the original Overwatch?
The first one.
Yeah, I didn't play the alpha.
When they were trying to get into the alpha and the beta, like.
I remember how crazy everyone went.
It was insane. Yeah, people were desperately trying to get into that thing. So.
Valorant was kind of like the same thing too, like especially the way that they did it.
Oh my God, yes. Because the way they would like have multiple streams up, they were like desperately trying to get into Valorant.
Mm-hmm.
Granted, it was during the pandemic and no one had anything. So
also true. Yeah, I'm just like, okay, this is an alpha, right? Like, and I was initially like, okay, it's a closed alpha because betas are a different story. But with this being an alpha, I just knew that one, there would be an NDA, and two, we weren't allowed to talk about it or stream it. And they said no to both, and I was like, that, I mean, like, I was like, okay, that's cool, but yeah, but like, it raised up some flags, and then I see this, and I'm like, well, if you're having the content creator sign, you know, this non-disparaging agreement, and you put these terms in there, why are you doing that for an alpha? Because we go back to this all the time. I feel like a lot of companies should not actively showcase their alpha because, again, there could be a million different bugs in there, and let the biggest content creator show this and say, hey, is this and this wrong with the game? Then that could negatively affect your game. Now, I'm not saying that you can't fix it, but it already puts a stain on it because people are dumb and they do not understand the difference between an alpha, a beta, and full release. And we've seen this time and time again. So I can understand why they put this in there. They're like, yo, like, just to protect our asses, you say something dumb and negative about this alpha, we gonna get you, and your dumb ass signed it. So that's why I can see that part, that Nettie are trying to save face. But at the same time, again, if you're going to not have an NDA and allow everybody to stream it, and you're trying to still keep this alpha small and closed off, but you're still allowing the people who signed up to get a code, and then you're saying, hey, if you play the game enough, you get to level 6 and you can get another code for somebody else to play who may or may not be a content creator, may not be in this program, then I feel like, you know, that was just like just kind of inviting the negativity. But I mean, like I said, it's not for everybody. Like, if it's just somebody who just signed up like me, then I'm not in that program anyway, so I didn't know anything about this. I didn't sign anything, and even if I did, you know, I'm not overly critical to the point where I'm just totally shitting on the game unless they, you know, completely deserve it. But I think I've been fair with, you know, all of my assessments on things. So I don't know, like I say, it's an alpha, and that's the only thing that I'm just kind of like, well, why did y'all do this then? Like, it's just kind of weird to have people sign these type of agreements for an alpha. I can understand later on down the line before an alpha, that's just kind of weird to me.
It might be in the wording, because like, why would you do an alpha and then not, like, the way the contract literally says don't say nothing negative about it. It didn't say
I was gonna ask, I was gonna ask what was the wording specifically, because I can understand.
It's on the show notes if you want to pull it up.
I'll take a look at that.
It's the second link. It's the second link in the Marvel Rivals of the show notes.
Because I can totally understand a company being like, no, you're allowed to be critical of the game, but please don't just like totally badmouth the game. Like, you can give us constructive
the
criticism.
wording is straight up, don't say nothing negative, pretty much.
No, that's not what this says. This thing says which is what I was alluding to. They agree not to make any publicities or engagements that are detrimental to the reputation of the game. This includes making disparaging or satirical comments about any game-related material. What's
the line for that, though? What's the line? To me, look how you're reading it versus I'm reading that and say nothing negative.
It's vague, so they can clap you if they want to.
Yeah, they can clap.
And they like, look, this agreement. Look at this. Yeah.
But I think also when you look at B, which I think kind of like helps you figure it better, it's like engaging in malicious comparisons with competitors or belittling the gameplay differences of Marvel Rivals or providing us objective negative reviews of the game. Like, this to me seems like this is what I'm talking. This sounds like rage baiting to me. Like,
so here's how you circumvent this. At least in my opinion, but, I would have told them, all right, so also put in the contract, if you have anything negative to say about our game, please just start or end that statement with, by the way, this is alpha early access. Everything is subject to change. But instead, they made it very vague to protect yourself.
I've seen contracts like that before, where they're like, we were inviting you to come play this game, but please, at the beginning of your video, let everyone know that this is like early development footage. It's not final. Everything is subject to change. And that's how they've managed to do it.
So they won't forget that.
So that being said, I do think you might be correct about what you were saying. Maybe it is just for like the rage bait. It's just poorly worded, because they did just recently issue an apology via their Discord. And to summarize it, he says that we are aware that there are inappropriate and misleading terms in the commitment regarding sharing non-disparagement content. We sincerely apologize for the miscommunication and your unpleasant experiences. We are now working on revising the miscommunication terms from our commitment. The progress will be shared with every creator in a timely manner. Marvel Rivals always welcomes creators to join our community and create amazing content together with us, blah, 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 blah. So they just admitted, basically, they could have worded that better. So You got you can't be too vague on that one.
Yeah, get more specific.
Yeah, it does seem purposely vague. I definitely don't. I don't like anything like that in any contract. If it's a thing of like, yes, you have to say it's in alpha. You have to don't be needlessly bad mouthing. I think is what I've seen in contracts before. Yeah. But it's normally way more specific of like, we're talking about specifically about you being like very, very negative and clickbaity. We're not talking about you criticizing it.
Use the word constructive criticism. Say, we're looking for constructive criticism, not rage baiting. That's how you get them. They just had to word it better, I think.
Yep.
Yeah.
That being said, and you know what sucks about this too is, like I said, I think the game is actually good and it has potential. And it's like, yo, you guys might have shot yourselves in the foot with this shit, bro. This is one of the weird cases because I feel like these type of situations happen for like games because they're trying to hide something. Like, you guys don't have nothing to hide. Why did you put this in the contract, man?
There's some monetization when they show those microtransactions.
Yeah, that's what it is.
That's what this is here for.
It's not in the alpha. It's free. Everything's free right now. But
that's what we just talk about it. Y'all seen what Overwatch did? Watch this.
Watch this. Just like Sony and Microsoft now. Watch this.
So the Marvel Rivals alpha. The good thing is, even though I know Ethos and Watch, I don't have codes. I believe it's for like another week and a half. So it's still going to keep going for a while. So maybe somebody will cough up a code.
The 20th is the last day.
There you go. And it's the 12th in which we're recording this, May 12th. So maybe y'all get a code. I'm trying to find codes.
Yeah, I hope so.
And hopefully they take some feedback. Hopefully they take some feedback and don't just dismiss all the negative reviews. Also, I want to know.
Discord was kind of insane, bro. Like they were really thirsty about this game, by the way. If y'all just went in that Discord, like they were screaming, bro. When do you get my code? Can I get multiple codes? Like they were going kind of crazy.
It's the FOMO. I told you, because the positive feedback the game, because I was like I'll watch it, and then I kept getting TikToks, and every TikTok like, yo, this game is actually good. I'm like, all right, let me set up and see what's going on. That's when I started asking for a code. So we gonna see.
Are you a begging too?
I didn't beg. I just asked around.
Baby, please.
Yo, I feel bad because I had two friends who asked me, did I want a code? And I said, nah, don't give me your code. And now I'm like,
Ethos, come on, man. You should have did that for the content. See, man, I'm about to be on TBA slide.
What a fraud.
I don't have FOMO. I'm sorry.
It's no excuse for Marvel 2. They're 10-minute games, bro. I don't want to hear that.
Don't have loner phobia, okay? Sometimes I see them like, okay, if I get access, it's cool. If not, I'm not gonna lose my mind about it. I'll just be like,
I'd rather play Destiny 2 and prep for more content that actually
tell people why you've been playing the latest games. What you been playing, Ethos?
I was playing Destiny 2.
Why?
They dropped a free update. Watts, tell them.
Back me up.
Watts, tell them about it.
To be fair, so I have been kind of off of Destiny since like I want to say October of last year.
Damn it, Watts.
I know. Listen, I just want to play Souls-likes and Monster Hunter. Okay, that's what I want to do. I want to sit here playing my Souls-like Monster Hunter.
I can't believe this. But you had told me 3 years ago. Watts would have told me this. I would have not believed you.
But they did drop a really good that has been pretty unanimously accepted as a really good free update. They added like a horde mode with a ton of loot in it. They added like a raid gauntlet mode where you can fight a bunch of raid bosses one after the other for raid loot. They've added a bunch of stuff for free. So people are pretty. They also dropped 3 new PvP maps as well recently. So they've done some good stuff as of recent.
Yeah, they've been bungoing, but they've been bungieing a little bit better now. So I'm a little happy with what they've dropped. It's like Gears and Mass Effect's like horde mode. It's actually really fun. I've been playing it.
It is good. Yeah, it's
yesterday I was dropping exotics. Oh my god, I was in PvP. I got like 5 exotics here and there. I had so much gold on my neck. I was like, oh my god, look at all these exotics I got. They just swimming in exotics right now. Yeah, the loot's really good right now. There's like a lot of cool stuff you can get.
Listen to y'all talk about this. I think one of the reasons why people are excited about Marvel Rivals is there's just a gap in multiplayer games right now.
There's nothing to do.
There's a gap.
There's a gap. There's clearly nothing.
I keep saying, guess it's because I'm old and like I like the old school arena shooters, fast paced, twitchy,
20-minute match and get out.
That's my jam. I love that. Like Titanfall 1, perfect. Loved it. And they just don't make those anymore. They're trying to be like CSGO, or they're trying to do like an extraction shooter or a BR, or it's trying to be like slow, tactical shooter. I don't want to play this
Halo
game.
Infinite. That's all we got. All we got is Halo Infinite.
I've been saying the older I get, I hate to see it, but it's like I understand why Call of Duty still sells. It's because it's just hop in, get into a couple matches, and get off.
You're not wrong. I don't know if you guys have heard much about Concord. It's an upcoming FPS game from a bunch of people who are actually at Bungie, who like old school guys who made the way the guns feel and abilities and all that stuff. And we don't really know anything about the game yet. They just dropped a teaser trailer, but they did partner with Sony, and they're going to be putting out. I think it's an arena shooter. Yeah.
I just pulled up the trailer. It's just like some plants.
The trailer's just like, it's in space, I guess. It doesn't tell you anything. Yeah. So there's not a whole lot of information, but I was excited about it because it's created by people who really know how to make guns feel good and abilities feel good. And
studio?
I can't remember the name of the studio.
It's just called Concord?
It's called Concord.
The game is called Concord, yeah.
Is that going to be a PlayStation exclusive?
I don't know yet.
I
don't know. I would assume they're coming up maybe in June. Maybe in June they'll actually show some stuff off.
Because it's coming out this year. Oh, but this was 11 months ago. So okay, so that was back in 2023. Yeah, I think
it was very easy to miss because even from the trailer, it was like, I don't really know what game this is. And then they posted a blog which kind of talked a little bit more about what it is. And then I saw who was working there, and I was like, oh, okay. I kind of trust these guys to at least make something that feels really good.
Oh yeah, this was revealed a while ago because I'm scrolling down in the article. It says Marvel Spider-Man 2 gameplay reveal. It was in that same showcase. God damn.
This is launching this year.
Yeah, I had no clue about this.
Yeah, we don't need to see some gameplay.
We'll see. Yeah, we need gameplay. I'm hoping June. June is going to have a ton of announcements because the later part of this year, it's going to have a lot. It's going to have a lot. The later part of this year has like nothing in it.
Oh, I thought you said like launch it in June. I was like, don't do that, right?
No.
Don't launch Elden Ring's coming out in June. Don't nobody care?
Yeah, you stay away from Elden Ring. Stay away.
Everybody shut it down.
And especially after, it was already going to be big, but especially after the Kais and Nat stream, it's going to be a lot of new Elden Ring players when that DLC drops.
It's going to be like, damn, I think I could play it now. Then they find out you got to beat all the bosses.
There's the final shape, there's that, and then there's Final Fantasy 14. I'm booked for the rest of this year. That's it. I'm not doing nothing else. There's no other game.
All right, we might well just not even have a podcast then. This man said he's playing 3 games. That's it.
I'm playing an MMO, another MMO, and then I'm playing
This man ain't gonna play Wukong. Like what else?
Yeah, you're not playing Wukong. Get the fuck out of here, bro.
No, I won't have the time. You don't understand.
It's in August. You have time.
All right, well we go hold it down, TV. We gotta hold it down for the rest of the year.
If you look at June's Elden Ring, that's gonna be at least a month. That's at least a month whole foray of getting through that. Then after that, that means I missed Final Fantasy. So that means Final Fantasy is going to be out. That means I got to grind all that shit. You already know how that is, Watts. That's a whole thing. That's a couple months. That's
what's been keeping you so busy is what I want to know.
What do you mean? I'm busy, man. I'm out here.
Still answer the question. This man got 2 kids. Like, what's going on? I don't want to hear it, man.
What you playing? Magic? You playing Magic tournament? What else you playing?
Don't worry about me. I'm busy right now.
This man got a boo now. That's what it is.
No, shut up.
This man in love now. That's what it is, bro.
I've been busy, bro. I just been busy.
We understand. It's hard to balance the time. We understand.
I know you ain't talking.
Right.
Yeah, let's talk about you over there, Mr. Giddy over there. Hey, go ahead and put that Mass Effect helmet on since you're about to nerd out for the next 3 months. Go ahead.
By the way, she said she's going to start it tomorrow. She bought the Legendary Edition.
Okay.
Culture.
You gotta sit there. You gotta say like the meme, like, now this is the part you do not kill Rex.
Save Rex, save the world.
Save Rex, save the world.
Hey, TV said, I'm with the culture feeling.
Oh my goodness.
Who's that? That's Garrus. That's the most badass motherfucker you're gonna ever meet.
He does calibrations and amazingly too. Moving on to the news side of the show. Bad week for Xbox. Bethesda. So this is the studio Xbox paid for. I believe it was 2 years ago. They paid what, $7 billion, I believe, 7.5 billion or something like that for Bethesda Studios. And since then, what have we gotten for it? Stinkfall. Stinkfall and midfield. the bad thing is it came out this week that they will be shutting down 4 studios within Bethesda. And this includes Arcane Austin, Tango Gameworks, let's see, Mighty Doom, and then Alpha Dog Studios. And these studios are responsible for games like Hi-Fi Rush, Ghostwire Tokyo, The Evil Within, and a bunch of other games. So a lot of people were really upset. In a statement to the press, they said they are reprioritizing titles and resources, means a few teams will be realigned to others, that some of our colleagues will be, but some of our other colleagues will be leaving us. So some people will be just sent to other teams, and then they're also letting go a bunch of people. A lot of people lost their jobs, unfortunately. A lot of people, yeah. So I wanted to open up this conversation and try to figure out, like, what the fuck is going on with Xbox? I read that the Game Pass has not been profitable for I don't know. What you think?
I've read a couple things. So I think everyone was really shocked, mostly for Tango Gameworks. One, because they put out Hi-Fi Rush, which was like Xbox's best game last year, and probably the best game in recent times still. And everyone on Xbox, with all of the higher ups were on Twitter being like, we're super happy with Hi-Fi Rush. We're dedicating ourselves to the team to help them out more. Like, this has been really good. So everyone was really surprised about that. It was also their only foothold in Japan to get, Japanese talent. So now they don't have a studio in Japan. They can, obviously partner with other studios, but they don't have a first party studio in Japan anymore. I've read some things. I've read that they essentially really banked on Redfall and Starfield to super boost the Game Pass numbers, but they didn't. And it essentially, the way that I'm reading a lot of the stuff that's coming out is I'm kind of seeing that it seems like they took a lot of gambles on certain games really paying off. So they spent a bunch of money acquiring Activision, and now they don't have enough money for that sale that they.
I also read the sales of hardware just across the board, PS5 and Xbox, is in a slump right now, not just like Game Pass. So I think, it was probably like a combination of
it seems like everything went wrong for them. Like, the 2 games they really wanted to pop off did not do well. Game Pass, they're saying, is just not really working out for them anymore because it's not growing. It's just stagnating. And now you're coming out with this news that you're closing down a bunch of studios. I saw a lot of people being like, I'm just going to cancel my subscription because I don't really have anything to play on there. Yeah.
Damn. I didn't even see that one.
There are a few people, that they're like, I don't really know. I guess I can subscribe later when you guys are putting a game out, but you're not putting out games right now anyway. Yeah. And Helldivers coming.
Off the top of my head, the only thing I know of that's coming that I'm interested on Game Pass is Flintlock. That game looks really good.
Flintlock does look interesting. Yeah.
But I read an article, I believe it's a rumor, it's not confirmed. I read an article that they're having heavy debates within the Xbox team on whether or not they're going to bring Call of Duty to the Game Pass.
Yes.
They're trying to figure out the financial. That if they keep Call of Duty on the Game Pass, I'll remain subscribed. I'm not gonna lie. If they don't put it on Game Pass, I might have to unsubscribe too. Like, I feel like that Call of Duty will add value because at least in my head, I'm like, all right, at least I know Call of Duty's free every year. That kind of then it starts, and then give me like a couple more like single player games. But if they don't add that,
it's been like the TLDR of it has been like Game Pass has not had enough of a growth to outmatch the loss of sales of the games. So they were hoping that Game Pass would get a ton of subscribers and then that would even out or, surpass the game sales that they were losing out on because it's on Game Pass. But that has not happened.
Which is unfortunate because I do feel like the Game Pass would get a lot of subscribers if the games. I mean, we also have to have a conversation. Redfall fucking sucks. And then Starfield, I feel like that game got a little bit too much hate. I wouldn't call it a bad game, but it was definitely mid. No. It was disappointing more than anything.
It was disappointing. Yeah. And the thing that really makes me sad is that they bought the studio responsible for Redfall while they were making Redfall, and the devs did not want to work on Redfall. They were like, Phil, please cancel this game. We don't want to make this game. It's not good. And they bought that fully knowing that whole situation, and then the studio doesn't even get a chance to make another game.
Yep, they were completely out of control, and then they get blamed for the failure, which is always the unfortunate side of business. What's your take on this, Ethos?
As the bishop of the Game Pass, my disappointment is immeasurable. My week was ruined when I saw this appear on Twitter. There's no excuse for this. Even as a person who was like a big Game Pass person, this is bad. It's bad. I don't know how anyone could try to spin this, try to act like, oh, there's a positive aspect of this. No, there's not. They straight up lied. They lied. They said, I remember back last year when I was even defending their acquisition. I mean, me and Siggy were talking about. They said last year that they had learned their lessons and that had shut down a studio before, that we made a mistake, and that we need to, when we acquire a studio, there's a reasoning for it, and that we need to cultivate this thing, and we need to make smaller games. And everything that they did this past week is literally a contradiction of everything they said in the past. Like, they said we want to make smaller games. Well, why would you get rid of Tango? Oh, we need games that are successful. Tango is literally your most successful game. My God. I don't care if it didn't sell a lot. The point is that game from a critical standpoint, from a critic standpoint, was phenomenal. It was like what Watt said. It was one of your best games you had for 2 generations. I would argue and say for literally your whole last 2 gens.
Can I add something to that with the Hi-Fi Rush? I read a heartbreaking post from a forum. One of the developers on Hi-Fi Rush took to a forum and he wrote this lengthy post where essentially he was saying that, first of all, the way they found out was on Twitter. But then B, apparently they were in the process of pitching Hi-Fi Rush 2. And then they
were hiring new people.
And then they found out on Twitter. Like, I'm not gonna lie, that shit. I'm like, damn, y'all. That shit make me mad, bro. That shit. Yeah, that's trash to me. I don't like that shit.
That shit. Yeah, like I said, there's no excuse for this.
No,
honestly, and I was the first one to. I'm not gonna say I was the first, but I was the first thing I said with reaction was like, Phil, I feel like you had a great run. You did some good. I feel like you did a lot of good for Xbox to get out of the rut. But at this point, you got to go. Like, there's too many scrubs. This is like, for me personally, this is like, that's the final the nail in the coffin.
Can I add one more thing that I don't like? And I for some people, this is going to piss them off. I don't care. I don't like that they put Sarah Bond out there. They put her out there. The optics of that is so insensitive. You put that black woman out there, you already know what the fuck's gonna happen. I didn't like.
Why was Phil not out there?
Yeah,
why
Phil should have brought his ass out there.
Her either,
we haven't seen anything. I haven't seen Phil. Either they nuked his.
It's not Sarah's fault. It's not her fault. I didn't like that.
It's not Sarah's fault.
No,
I don't
it's not
feel like
her
it's
fault
Sarah's
at all.
fault. Maybe she had to make some calls on this, but I feel like now she's just the person who's the PR. Like, I got to clean up the mess. Like, they're doing to her what America did to Obama. Hey, we made a mess, bro. Now you got to clean it up, bro. Good luck. Like, it's the same thing. It's the exact same thing. And now what happens is, like, now she's out there, so everyone's going to blame her for it. Honestly, it starts at the top, and she's part of that top area. But I think in totality, I don't think Phil is like the person at fault for this. I think it's more of it is the executives at
Matt
Microsoft.
Booty.
Yeah, it's Matt Booty. Because I read, I don't know about this. I don't know how true this is, but I've read like a lengthy history on that guy in particular of how he has failed upwards, where I'm like, he has screwed up multiple things and somehow he keeps getting up promoted. I don't know like who you sucking off or like what you've done, but like, I don't know how someone
what dirt you got on somebody.
Yeah, or you got dirt on somebody. I don't know how you could be failing multiple franchises, a failure at, I forgot, was he originally with Bethesda or something, or ZeniMax? I can't remember. He was part of something original. ZeniMax. Was part of a project that failed, got promoted, failed again, got promoted. Like, if you look at his history, like, he has not been the head of something that was like majorly successful. So I'm like, how does this dude keep getting promoted? Now he's like head of gaming stuff for Xbox and for Microsoft. I'm like, what the hell is happening here?
And he's the one that came out and said the whole thing about we need smaller games that win awards, and we're like, hello.
They're like, hello. There's Hi-Fi Rush. What are you talking? What are you on? Are you doing drugs, sir? I don't understand. And again, like, I do think, if I'm guessing, if I'm trying to be fair, I think that the CEO of Microsoft and like the actual execs of Microsoft, the full organization, they looked at the Xbox and said, we put a lot of money into you because you said that once we acquire Activision, we're going to get our things in spades. And now, like, I listened to what Sarah Bonds and everything. It's like now I think Daddy Microsoft's like, hey, bro, we put a lot of money down on this. It's time to start doing what Microsoft does best, screwing shit up. So now they're like, you need to start making mobile games. You need to start pushing that to the mass of Activision. You need to push all those franchises to Activision. I think I agree with what you're saying. The thing about Call of Duty, if Call of Duty is not on the Game Pass, that shit's gonna flop. That shit's gonna start decreasing. Because I think the one game
when the article comes out, it's not coming again. Oh, Twitter's gonna be on fire.
It's gonna be on fire. And I know for a fact, like, for me, I'm in agreement with some other people. This upset me so much. I'm keeping my Game Pass just to play Hellblade because I want to support that game, and I've been excited for it for years. I love the first game. JJ already knows.
Great.
I'm very excited to play the second game, and I swear to God, Microsoft, if you fucking close Ninja Theory after they release Hellblade 2, I will not forgive. The way I got beef with Sony about the Vita is how I feel about Microsoft. I will not forgive them for that.
I'm gonna keep it a buck too. I believe I didn't play Hellblade, but I believe y'all when y'all say it's a great game. I've only heard positive things, but I just don't see that game boosting Game Pass sales.
I don't either.
It's not a niche experience.
It's a very niche game.
These are the games about. We need to make smaller games and create games. That was one thing I always gave them credit for. I say the one thing I gave Microsoft was they actually supported and let developers make smaller, more like different types of genres games. Like if you look at their catalog, they got a ship, they got a pirate game, then they got Grounded, then they got Halo, then you got they have all these weird different games. They're all like now you got Hellblade, now you got whatever Redfall, then you got Starfield. Like it had a bunch of cool different games on the past, but now like Hi-Fi Rush, great example, completely different game. They let us do this, and you just screw it up. I'd be so upset if I was Phil Spencer, Sarah, Matt Booty, all of them. You paid all this money for Bethesda. For what?
They dropped 2 flops, and then they come out and put out that Fallout TV show, and they don't make no money. I'd be so fucking bad, bro.
I'd be mad too, because you know what they're doing. Here's the crazy part. They all went out. I saw Twitch, bro.
What are you doing, Todd?
What did they all do? They all went out. They tried to get Fallout 4, and then they fucked up the next gen version of Fallout 4. So it broke mods. It broke a bunch of shit. It made a bunch of new bugs. So then they screwed that up. And then you know what? What everybody ran to? They went to go play New Vegas, which is like on sale for $2 on Steam. So I know y'all not making no money off of that. So it's like I just can't.
I'm trying to look at Phil. Go ahead.
They have a monkey. I'm just convinced they have a monkey paw, and it's
maybe,
now,
and it's Matt Booty. Matt Booty is the monkey paw. All we're gonna have from Mike, it's because they were saying it's no longer Xbox, it's Microsoft Gaming.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna have Candy Crush, Fallout, and Call of Duty. That's gonna be
about to be a pool. I was to add to what you all were speaking about, because I definitely saw the thing about Game Pass just faltering out now. They're not making any money from that. I read an article and they said some insiders provided some more information, and they said that Microsoft bit off more than they could chew when they bought Bethesda and Activision. And they said from a leadership standpoint, they don't know what they're doing right now with both of those companies. And that's what's leading to these executive decisions with right now what we're seeing with these.
They should have bought one, worked it, and then when that started working, then buy a different one.
You can't buy big studios like this. Yeah, that's exactly what they did. They threw way too much money at 2 big studios, and now they don't know what to do with it. There's nobody to lead all of these divisions at the same time. Even though it was way smaller with the studio that Microsoft had, but you bring in Bethesda's freaking huge. You bring in Activision's freaking huge, and then you have this thing with Bobby Kotick on the Activision side, and then the Bethesda side. They already had 2 flops on there, and it's just really bad right now. So I think that is more true than not. Like it sounds like there's no true leadership at Microsoft right now, and now they're calling for Phil's head, and Sarah Bond unfortunately had to take the fall for this one. So it's
really bad. It's really bad. Oh.
Sarah Bond. It has to be Sarah Bond.
Yeah.
Which is what we said last year, where we said we felt that she was being prepped to take that, like she was going to be the successor. It seemed like that's why they were putting her in front of everybody for like years now. Basically, when Phil was supposed to, I don't know, go forward and be something bigger with Microsoft as a whole organization, she would have taken up all of Xbox. It seems like now they're going to force her to do that. As we clearly see, they're putting her as she's the front person. I don't know where Phil is at this point. I don't think there's a damn thing Phil can say. Phil can go on Kind of Funny and try to warp whatever he wants. There's nothing. I don't think there's any good take. There's no PR thing you can do to try to get out.
There's not. They just have to be. They just well, his Fallout bunk is getting nuked, so maybe.
Yeah, literally.
He can't run to the Fallout shelter.
Can I explain that for people? So for the people who are watching, what she's talking about is if Fallout 76, Phil Spencer plays the game and he has a camp inside of the game. People in the game are literally nuking his camp in the game. That's go ahead. That's funny, bro.
Yeah, they knew.
I think one of the statements that like really made me mad was someone from Microsoft. I don't know who it was, but they said we had to close some studios because we can't manage all of these teams. And I'm like, then why did you keep buying them? Why did you keep buying them? I don't
exactly.
And people were talking about them buying Ubisoft.
Don't know how
people
to lead,
were like, please buy Capcom. I'm like, don't go anywhere near Capcom.
Capcom's on a roll right now. No, thank you. Matter of fact,
Are you going to mention their salaries?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, yeah. Capcom is just boosting their employees' salaries because everything's going so well. So that's what Capcom's doing. Leave them alone.
Too many Resident Evils, huh?
Leave them alone.
Well, no, hey, they dropped Street Fighter 6.
You hater.
No. So Wise, I don't know if you've been listening. I've been on World War Capcom because they won't give me Onimusha. So I know you love them because you love Monster Hunter, but it's up with them until they give me Onimusha.
JG, Okuma's coming. Okuma's coming. Get over it.
I don't care. I want Onimusha. Give me Samanosuke. Quit playing.
You could play Cammy, the Path of the Goddess thing. You might like that. Their upcoming game. Maybe. It's got the style.
Yeah, but it ain't Onimusha though.
It's not.
Anime? Can you get an anime? Be grateful, JG. You got an anime.
No, it ain't enough. Because ain't enough people watching. Go watch Onimusha on Netflix.
Nah, nobody watching that shit, bro.
They didn't watch it. I know, man. They didn't watch it.
Motherfuckers thought they had a Cyberpunk. It didn't happen, my boy. I'm sorry, man.
They're not going to watch it now. Demon Slayers now.
But yeah, no, especially after this, Microsoft should be done. Do not buy any more studio. That is definitely not the answer right now. If y'all can't manage what y'all have now, don't buy anything else.
Or if they do want to buy studios, maybe dial it back. Instead of going for a big name like a Bethesda or Activision, get a studio that's like Shift Up. They just dropped Stellar Blade, right? They got one game under their belt. They're not going to be as expensive as Bethesda.
No, fuck that. Don't buy anything.
I'm not
buy a damn.
I'm just
That's what I'm saying.
Which is an example. It's an example.
We're not throwing a no bail. We're not throwing a no bail.
They said we're done. That play's done.
It's shit. No. Don't buy it.
That's funny.
It's like saying, hey, bro, I know we built this house, but we fucked up the foundation, bro. But we're going to build an expansion, but it's smaller, so it's going to be okay. Like, no, you fucked up the house. The foundation's fucked. We got to rebuild the whole house now. Nah, bro. Don't let them up. At this point, man, I agree. I think after Hellblade, I think I'm gonna disable my Game Pass in defiance and protest to.
Yeah,
I might have to do the same, man. Not with
the wallet,
but just because I don't use it, like it's the same thing TBA said. Like outside of Hellblade and maybe Call of Duty, if that ends up getting confirmed, I don't play anything else. Like I haven't used Game Pass in a while
since
they have heat on it right now. They have. I don't know if y'all been playing that Manor Lords. That shit kind of gas. It's on Game Pass.
I've heard good things about Manor Lord.
Yeah.
I thought you were not talking about other games, Ethos. No, we talking about other games with you.
I've been playing games.
This man not playing the AAA games. He's still playing Destiny 2 and Manor Lords. No,
hey, what Mario say? The lie detector determined that was a lie.
Yo, Manor Lords is fun. It's a fun
I'm turning on you, Ethos. I'm turning on you, bro.
You get
that. It was cool, dog.
The agenda will be pushed.
Got you, man. I'm on his side. You ain't playing no games.
Don't worry, Jay. When Elden Ring comes out, you know his ass will be on it.
Of course. He already said. He said this on the list.
I will play it. I will. Okay, if I'm playing Elden Ring when it comes out, then it's not me. Like call 911, don't get me. Like it's not.
Okay,
me.
You sick?
Right,
yeah.
All right.
And
body snatching.
Yeah, someone body snatched me. It's definitely not me.
I hope the people that lost their job, because a lot of people have lost their jobs since January. I hope people find work, get on their feet, or form new studios that they can afford to. Because you never, like I said, I don't like seeing that shit with the Hi-Fi Rush 2 shit. I was like, come on, bro. Like y'all just look really bad out here.
It's going to be so hard.
What the fuck, man?
Yeah, it's going to be so hard for them to find a job because you have how many thousands of people who are also looking for a job in the same thing, and studios keep closing. It's going to be really tough.
Yeah, they don't even.
Billionaires are gambling with your lives, man. That's what they're doing.
What I always say, Johnny Silverhand was right. Once again. Yep.
You got to get that Amazon health insurance. Right. Hmm?
Yeah.
What, that dystopian future?
They might get the first nuke. I'm not gonna lie to you. No.
Oh my goodness. Vault Tech is coming, ladies and gentlemen.
That shit's crazy. I finished watching that last.
Did you like it? Hold on, update. Did you like it at the finish of Fallout?
I loved it. I'm a Fallout nerd, but I just maybe think it's just been so long I don't remember some of the lore.
Forget how good it was.
I just don't know why people were bitching about the ending. It was about the time.
I think so. What I read is because I didn't play New Vegas, but from what I read is they're saying that the show would make one of the endings canon, I guess, and people had an issue with that. I don't. To me, I'm not gonna lie, that's nerd shit. I'm like,
that's what I felt like.
It's a TV show.
I was excited to see New Vegas. I was like, oh shit, the best Fallout's here. Like I was just.
Did you watch it, Watts? Fallout?
I haven't watched it yet. No. I haven't watched it yet. I'm going to. Yeah.
And I'm like 3 episodes.
I know I
haven't
like it.
finished.
When people said that they said it was the best one, I see why. I finished it. I was like, yeah, I could totally see how. Even though if you're not a huge Fallout fan, there's just so much good shit about it. Like the characters, the writing.
It's a show you can enjoy without playing the game.
Maximus is still a bitch, bro.
Definitely.
I'm sorry. I didn't change my opinion on Maximus. I didn't end up liking him. But
damn, you're not allowed to say that.
He's the only character I didn't like, but I didn't dislike him because I feel like he had bad writing.
The way it ended.
Who he was as a character.
Yeah.
But it was still good writing for his character. So,
on a more lighthearted note, let's move over to the PlayStation camp.
That was so much better. Yeah, sure. Yeah.
I know, right? Both of them were.
Can I real quick?
Wait,
can I say my conspiracy theory?
Go ahead. Go for it.
Yeah.
I'm convinced that both Microsoft and Sony have a secret telephone line whenever one of them is about to fuck up, they call them and say, "Hey, I'm about to drop some terrible fucking news. Can you also do some terrible thing at the same time?"
Did I miss something? Because I don't think we was talking about the same thing. What are y'all talking about? This negative.
This news you're about to talk about.
No, go ahead, because y'all already hinted. I don't know what the fuck y'all talking about. Go for it.
I know you saw all the Helldivers shit.
The Helldivers.
Fuck it. We're already there. We can talk about that. Yeah,
But now it's Ghost of Tsushima is also having a bunch of
one too. Yeah.
That one I did miss, the Ghost of Tsushima. So with Helldivers, let me pull the article up since y'all wanted to call a pivot. With Helldivers 2, the drama that's going on there is the PC players, they wanted them to make a PlayStation account and you had a grace period to do it. And if you didn't, the game would no longer work. So, they review bombed the hell out the game. And Sony found out, because I looked it up, 60% of the player base is on PC. So further pushing my agenda that PlayStation Sony ponies just talk about games. They don't buy them because more people play on PC Helldivers 2.
That's insane.
But anyways, majority of the players on PC, and they found out the hard way because they review bombed the game. It had like 15,000 negative reviews within 24 hours of the announcement. So then Sony saw that. They decided to retract their statement. They said, we're no longer going to make the game unplayable if you don't make a PlayStation account on PC. But then some more news had came out that they just, it was kind of like a bait and switch. Like, yeah, you don't need to make a PlayStation account, but they did pull it off a bunch of regions. So like a lot of people still can't play the game and they're catching a lot of heat. But as far as I missed that story. What's the Ghost of Tsushima shit?
It's the same thing. It's because Ghost had that multiplayer mode. It's the same thing. They're
trying to make you also still make an account to play it.
Yes, to play it.
So let's talk about that. Watts, why do you think they're trying to make people make a PlayStation account on PC?
I assume that they're trying to boost PSN numbers, of like account numbers or something. They're trying to keep it in their ecosystem whilst going on to a different platform. That would be my guess. But it's like, I do not like money because like you're going to make a lot more money if you just release it on Steam and let people play it. I understand if they want to do that kind of thing for like crossplay, right? If you're trying to do the Legends mode on Ghost of Tsushima and they want to add crossplay for that stuff, then that's fine. A bunch of companies have you make accounts. But the issue really is with if you are in a country that can't do that, then you're not even apparently allowed to play any of the games, let alone like online.
Yeah, I
don't get it.
It's unfortunate because like Helldivers 2 has been the critical darling of 2024. First it was Power World, and that kind of just like fell off a cliff, and Helldivers quickly took its spot and it maintained the momentum. Like when I last checked like a couple weeks ago, they were still averaging like 200,000 players. And like,
it's been a war for like 3 months. Like this man keeps going.
I didn't see my family in 3 months, man. I've been in Vietnam.
It's crazy to see because it's like it kind of goes back to what I always see. Like nobody's too big to fail. Like they literally just killed that shit in a moment. And one thing I will say, shout out to the Helldivers community for sticking their foot down. I love to see it. I was talking about this on stream. I'm like, yo, 2K, Madden, FIFA players, please stop buying VC and all this other dumb shit, these microtransactions. You see what happens when you vote with your wallet and you voice your opinion. They turn that shit down around within like 48 hours. Sony was like, no. Even though they still kind of lied and there's still some issues with the regional stuff. But the point is, if you voice your concerns and vote with your wallet, kind of like what we were just talking about with the Game Pass, you can make a difference, but you got to have some balls. What you think, Jay?
Yeah, I mean, it's totally what you said. Like, I think that the Helldivers 2 community did an amazing job because, and I was talking about this, initially I was like, okay, I understand, like, there are a lot of people who still don't own a PlayStation, right? Like they've never owned one. They've just been on PC. So to make them make an account, it's not so much about making an account. It's the principle of the matter, right? Like, they were just like, no, like, I don't own this system, so why would you make me get on this ecosystem? Like, even if it's just as simple as making an account. So I understood that because of the principle of the matter is like, hey, if you don't do this, you can't play. Then they were like, oh, hell no. Like, we're going to, do the worst that we can do. And that's review bomb thing on Steam. Anytime something gets review bombed on Steam, we hear about it almost immediately. Like, it just becomes instant news. So it is something that literally garners attention, and they did get enough attention. And also on top of that, you got the attention of the people who made freaking Helldivers too. Like, they were actually in support of this. Like, I've seen like actual tweets from one of the main developers, and he was in support. He was like, man, thank you all for doing this, because like, this wasn't our decision. Because anything like this news comes out and you just automatically go to the people who made the game, right? But it wasn't them. This was Sony's doing, and for them to make this mandatory that you have to create an account, like, I thought that was bull. So like I said, I'm very happy that the Helldivers II community did this, and at least something that matters, that actually makes sense, other than on the other side of the coin, the Stellar Blade shit. Like, it's just stupid, right? Like, you're complaining because you just want to be horny, and it just did it. Like, there's no purpose for doing this. But the Helldivers 2 stuff, I mean, that makes perfect sense to be upset about it. Like I said, the principle of the matter makes more sense. It's more justifiable than the Stellar Blade stuff. So like I say, it's great. And like I said, going back to your point, I would love for the 2K community to do this. I would love for other communities to do this. Y'all constantly say vote for your wallet, but you don't actually do it. You don't actually execute. And this time you did. And look what happened. You made some change. So bravo.
The worst part about the 2K community is this year, you remember when the game first came out, they were all posting their receipts of how much they spent on last year. You've seen people 2,000, 20,000, 10,000. I'm like, yo, you guys are looking, money. And they all acknowledge like, yeah, whoa, I didn't realize I was spending this much money. And then they did it again, bro. I'm like, yo, what is wrong with you people? Just stop, man. At bare minimum, just stop playing the game.
So devil's advocate here, just because I don't understand, not saying I don't think that what happened was wrong. I agree it was a good thing. I'm just curious, why did this specifically happen when like other like publishers have done the exact same requirement for their games, and it doesn't seem like this has ever, it's never happened to this scale. Like when you play an EA game on Steam, right? Like, it requires that you have an EA account. Like, when you play a Ubisoft game, you have to be like, what's the difference? Like, what I think, was it because the PSN wasn't available? Everything I think it's
because they waited till like 6 months after the game came out to do it. Yeah. And then also because
it's all timing.
The timing was the problem. Okay, yes. So if Sony had done this, so then why is Ghost then getting hit? Because they're telling you before the
Ghost is a 2-year-old game.
But I'm saying like, yeah, but they're also dealing with the same issue where like now they're attacking.
It's because of the countries thing. It's just like, it's like if you're in this country, you just can't play this game because you can't make an account. It's like, even though you have Steam, like you have a computer to play the game, you have the money that you want to give us. It's like, no, you're not in the right country, so you can't play it.
Yeah, when you add that layer on top of it, then yeah, I 110% understand. It's like, damn, I bought this game. Why you telling me I can't play it online?
They took it away from them. Yeah, they just
and he took it away too.
Away from the people in the countries who can't make a PSN, which is crazy.
Like, they straight up delisted their money. That's insane.
No,
did they refund them?
No, I don't know. I don't know for sure.
Why would they do that?
Because I paid for the game and now I don't have it. You told me they just a month later.
Remember, licensing. You don't own the game.
I know, but
well, do we need to bring up the crew again? You don't own the game.
He's not lying. He's not lying on that. So it's unfortunate. Like I say, it's all timing. Like I say, you've been playing the game, just fine, no problem, and then they all of a sudden drop this bomb on you. And again, unfortunately, the Stellar Blade thing too already had that community in a rut. They're like, yo, Sony, what the hell is going on? Like, we on your ass now. Like, you do that, and then you do this too. I'm being censored, and I can't play it another game. What the? They're like, bro, like, this enough is enough. So like I said, they already had the steam from that situation, and then you just transposed it to with the Helldivers 2 situation, and it just created a big ball of mess. And
maybe this is the strategy going forward, because I do feel like review bombing a lot of times they do it for the wrong reasons, but I feel like this is the first time I can remember off the top of my head where they deserved it. And when you just to give the optics for people from other communities, let's say you play 2K or like FIFA, if you review bomb a game and that shit has 1 star, you are now fucking with their money, because people who don't follow podcasts like this or read the news, all they do is boot up PlayStation or Steam and they look at the game and you go to the page and you see 1 star, they're not buying it. So maybe that's the play. Like, organizing an actual like review.
I don't think that really matters though, because like 2K literally gets shat on PC wise, like review wise. It gets every single year.
That's something different than the PC version. Yeah,
it just gets shat on every single year. And it's always mostly negative. Big example, Overwatch 2 literally I think had the most, like, they bombed it to hell. Like they had like 2% positive review rating like for it, but I don't think it really changed overall. I mean, I guess it changed.
To be fair, I actually looked up the Overwatch numbers last week, and it had like 68,000 concurrent players, which, you know, that's cool. But if we're talking peak Overwatch, you could make an argument from there. It fell off. I could argue it has been affected. It has been.
Those have to be legacy people at this point.
Pretty much.
Yeah, again, the game is still big, but
it's not a mainstream.
You want to get new people to play it. Yeah, I don't think new people are hopping on Overwatch too.
So yeah, I don't know. I agree with you. Sometimes, I mean, I'd say a lot of time people put Steam reviews and they're just fucking stupid. Like they don't give any context, like real, like. Some of them do, but most of the time it's just meme shit, or it's just like not really, you know, actual. It's like, this game sucks. No,
you're right. Like, you're right. You're right on that one.
Yeah, I feel like the review needs to be, the system needs to be overhauled to be better. Like they just need something in the middle. Like they need something like another review like, in the middle to better figure it out. Because I feel like just putting a game and saying like up or down is just, it doesn't really help you get like the full picture. I do like that they added the whole like, warning, there's been detected that a bunch of reviews have been added to this game or changed recently.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I do like, there's like a whole, it shows like an entire like a monthly bar, like year bar. So you can see the change at month to month to month. So you can see where if something bad had happened, you see it shift, or if somebody's like intentionally review bombing it for some stupid reason, you'll see why. Like you can see
do that
pattern.
I think Metacritic needs to add verified purchases, because I did a video, I forgot which game, a couple weeks ago, 100%. And this dude left a 1 star on a game that I was talking. I don't remember what game it was, but he was like, 1 star, this shit is trash. I clicked his profile. He had 5 other games with the same exact wording. I'm like, oh, you're just doing this shit. I'm like, I wonder how many people are doing this. Like, they need to verify the purchases over there. But yeah, this is shout out to the Helldivers community. We need to see more people, you know, coming together, fighting the good fight.
Yeah, definitely. Democracy.
They actually fought a war and won.
They did.
And more lighthearted PlayStation news. This is what I was originally going to talk about. For people who suck at games, Sony filed a patent, which means this doesn't mean it's gonna be a thing, but it is being talked about, potentially for the PlayStation 6, including AI into it. And this patent basically adds an autoplay feature. So let's say you get stuck on, I don't know, Millennia and fucking Elden Ring. Just so you can say you beat it, so you can be, you know, get the achievement and you can talk to your friends about it. If you get stuck on that boss, you can activate the AI and it'll beat it for you. This is not a guarantee, but they did file a patent for it. So if anybody wants to use the technology, they're going to have to license it through Sony. But yeah, it is a thing. It's a conversation in the air. How you feeling about this, Jay? Are gamers pussy now, Jay?
so you're saying that Kai would not have died 500 plus times, and he could just use AI to beat them all?
Yep, this is a thing. They got the patent.
Nah, man, we're getting soft as a generation. This can't be, bro. Like, people were complaining about Souls games. Like, I remember when Sekiro, like, I still vividly remember when Sekiro came out, and so many people trying to get into it, right? And they were like, this game needs an easy mode. No, it does not need an easy mode. You need to get good. I'm sorry, it's a skill issue at this point. You need to learn how to get good. Like, this is literally, I really don't understand. Like, you should not get help. You should not get training wheels to help you get past a part. It's either you learn how to beat it, Google it or something. Everybody talk about me Googling. Look at people cheesing the boss or something. Try to execute it and do it. Like, I just don't understand why this will be needed in any shape, form, or fashion. Like, I don't know. Get one of your friends to help you beat it. Like, I don't understand. I don't understand why AI would be a thing that's needed. I really don't.
I have a theory. I think this is the direct consequence of, as great as social media has been, it's also brought a lot of different things like iPad kids and shit. I think this is another result. So like, I think it's a FOMO thing with like gaming and every form of media. A new TV show, a new movie comes out, everybody wants to be a part of the conversation. Everybody feels like their opinion is important. I mean, this is why we had so many people surprised that Baldur's Gate 3 beat fucking Spider-Man, like even though they're not qualified to talk about that type of shit. The people who strictly play Spider-Man, I'm talking about. I think this is a direct result of that. There's so many people that just want to be a part of the conversation. Let's make Sekiro easy. Now these publishers, these hardware makers are feeling pressure to maybe create something so everybody can be a part of it. I mean, and a perfect example of this too, not even gaming, what just happened to hip hop this past week. That was one of the biggest, I don't care who you thought won. Man. One of the biggest takeaways I had between this Kendrick and Drake shit is it was a lot of unqualified people talking about rap. I seen a take on TikTok. Dude was talking about, man, when y'all gonna stop talking about this shit? It's great. How it's like saying you're a fan of football and you're tired of when football games come on. Like, what do you mean you're tired of this rap battle, bro? This shit is great.
We need to gatekeep hip hop, bro. This is one of the great.
We need to gatekeep everything, is what I've learned.
Yeah, we need to gatekeep everything. We do.
So I think this is a direct result of like social media. Everybody feeling like they need to be, I can't talk about fucking Elden Ring because I can't beat Radon. Like, yeah, you can't. Stay your ass over there, bro. And here's the thing. It's okay. I don't feel the need to be part of every goddamn conversation. I hope with this, if this becomes a thing and they put this in the PlayStation 6, all I ask is if AI is there, they should not get the achievement. They should not get the trophy. Like, there should be like a telltale sign. Oh, you beat it, huh? Where's your trophy at, you fucking cheater?
No, I'll do you one better. Plaster it on the screen saying AI is being activated to help you beat it. Fraud alert. That's an instant fraud alert.
Fraud alert. I agree.
No, plaster it.
Oh shit! Yeah, you beat that shit with training wheels, didn't you? Huh? That shit would be
the biggest fraud.
That shit would be so funny because if they did do that, I feel like that first year or two of the PlayStation 6 out, most people are not going to be aware, or it's going to be of that print on the image. They're going to post it on the Twitter. Hey, I just beat this boss, and be like, did you read the text on your image, bro?
I didn't know what they did with Jedi Survivor, right? Like when they had the dots at the bottom, they told you what difficulty you were on. Yeah. It's something subtle, but the people who actually play the game know. Do something like that. Like, say it doesn't have to be plastered, but there should be a telltale sign that be like, yo, AI is being used right now to help you get past this point.
16 did the same thing. 16 made it where, like, if you were gonna stream or whatever, there was a whole icon system at the top to say, like, if you added any assists or activated any like sort of like help triggers, like it would have an icon right there to say like this person's using assisted parries or something like that.
Yeah.
I even coming at it from an accessibility standpoint, it's like, but like people who have accessibility issues with games deserve to also like play the game. So if developers end up just being like, well, let's just use the AI function on the PS6, it's like, well, now is your only option as someone who needs accessibility settings going to be a game playing it for you, which I don't think that's fair either.
Might as well be a movie.
Oh yeah, I see what you're saying. Like you feel like it might make them lazier with the accessibility features, basically.
Right? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, instead of like delving into accessibility stuff, because it takes a lot of research to know what's going to actually help people with different issues. So, like, just throw that in there. Like, great. Well, now we don't get any new accessibility.
That's a valid point. Do you want to use AI Ethos to play your games?
You can load it up while he's playing Destiny, right?
Yeah. You don't say that he beat them. The TV. There you go. He played all the games to beat them. There we go.
Maybe we do need it for him.
Fraud alert for Ethos.
So I would actually want to play the other games. So I could just make it play all the grindy games for me. That would actually be pretty nice. Yeah, that would be nice.
He gonna be a test subject for it.
Yeah. I'll beta test that shit. Why not?
Crazy.
I'll find out how good or bad.
I feel like too an even funnier thing is I could see these companies make it to where they have AI in the console and then it's like a feature they charge you for, like $10 a month, bro. And you pay $10 a month to cheat, bro. Get the fuck out of here, dude.
They're gonna do it per minute. They're gonna say, hey, the AI will control your game for the next 10 minutes, and you got to feed it like a slot machine to make it keep going.
Oh my god, damn, that's crazy.
If you give Miyazaki an extra like $10 million, maybe I'll be okay with it.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Creature in the universe. No.
Some specs for the Switch 2, which is rumored to be called the Switch Attached, not the Switch 2, leaked online. I want to see it personally. And this nerd shit doesn't do nothing for me. It's being compared to a PS4 Pro and an Xbox Series S. Is this doing anything for y'all?
I didn't even know about. I'll be honest. I don't play the Switch at all. If I want to play something handheld, I'll normally use the Steam Deck.
Ah,
was about to say, to be fair, who's really playing the Switch right now besides hardcore Nintendo? It's really dry right now, I think. I don't think that Princess Peach game hit like they thought it was.
What is the comparison of this to the Steam Deck? Well,
how does it said PS4 Pro and Xbox Series S. How does that compare to the Steam Deck? Those two.
That's basically the Steam Deck was like a more powerful version of the PS4 Pro or PS4.
I don't remember actually. Yeah.
I mean, that's I guess if these specs are true, if we're acting like they're true, it's cool for like Nintendo games. Nintendo games are going to look great because it is a bump in power. I guess my issue is always like the third party games. Like that's always been the issue. Like I feel like that's one thing that gets lost in translation. The power for Nintendo platforms is more of an issue for third party games. Like I want
it is, yeah. It
X, Y, and Z to run well.
Yeah,
I've seen plenty of games like you see it, and it's like, oh man, it's a Switch version. Hogwarts was an example. You see how bad Hogwarts was. Mortal Kombat was bad on there. Like we just see all these. Like, why would you even play any of these games on there?
They're saying the rumor is this is going to run like a PS4 Pro. Keep in mind that Cyberpunk could not run on the PlayStation 4. That means in theory, Cyberpunk can't run on this Switch too. This is and that's a 2-3-year-old game already.
I just don't understand why Nintendo continues to do this. I get that they don't care about competition, but if you're going to make your systems like purposely underpowered because you want to save money, make sure it gets into every household, then why do you even continue to have third-party games being made if they're going to be underpowered and your competition already has their current gen consoles that are stronger than what you're proposed to be bringing out? Like I just don't understand that part. Just continue to make first-party games then and just say screw all the third-party games like you kind of were for decades. Like you didn't really have that good relationship with all these third-party companies. You've only had a handful, and even still, like people choose to play these games on other platforms because again they have them already and they know that they play better on the other platforms. So you're just screwing yourself doing it.
I don't care that it's weaker. I more so care, why do y'all choose to do 2 generations behind? Like we're already getting rumors of the PS5 Pro and the 6. So why can't it just be the power of the PS5? I'm cool with that. Like,
just wait and then like bring out something that's going to keep up for a little bit would be great.
Yeah. They can't fit that in the form factor. That's probably why tech's not good enough.
Hardware's not ready.
That's true. It's pretty small. Yeah.
Steam Deck is, I think, the cutting edge right now, I would argue. So like they have to at least meet that. And
well, no, because that Asus joint and the Ally and the other one,
the Ally is pretty good.
The MSI Claw, those are more powerful than Steam Decks, and they're the same form factor.
Right, but the main thing about that is it's not just like you can have all this power in your machine, right? But the main reason why the Steam Deck is more popular than those is because it's the whole package, right? It's not only that, but like how it physically is, and then on top of that, the software that it runs on, right?
The UI.
That's kind of why the main thing. Yeah, that's why the main reason why I feel like it's been dunking on a lot of the other competitors that could say, oh, well, are things more powerful? Or are things that? Outside of like the Steam Deck getting like its upgrade with its OLED, where it got that in 2 years. I have a feeling when this thing comes out, the year after the Switch, 2 comes out, I think the new Steam Deck will probably like be announced or be shown. I think like Steam basically, Gabe Newell basically recognizes and says, hey, yeah, like our thing is basically we just got to go up against Nintendo. And I'm reading the specs of this. The only thing I'm a little concerned on is the RAM. The RAM is like there's less RAM in this thing than there is on the Steam. The Steam Deck has 16. And that was something I remember Valve specifically said was a big part of why the Steam Deck can perform really well. Is they said they pushed as much RAM as they could so that it could it could run a lot of these games really well, which was like, I was like, oh, it was like some special type of new RAM that helps it like enhance the like speed of like the GPU or something. The other thing that looks interesting though is apparently this thing will have DLSS, which is something Steam Deck does not have because they use AMD. So that there is a game changer though, because if they get DLSS on this machine, that will allow them to push the performance of the games. Like,
okay,
yeah.
So 60 FPS maybe might actually be plausible with their performance, or they'll be able to push their games graphically a little bit more and use DLSS as the crutch to make sure they don't run like crap. I mean, I don't know. Steam Deck, we've already seen Nintendo doesn't really need the graphics and shit like that.
They don't. Yeah.
Zelda literally dunked almost everything. You just couldn't beat Elden Ring, but like an Elden Ring, I would say wasn't graphically like cutting edge either. I don't think a lot of people who buy Switch care about that type of thing. So as long as the thing just works and they put in a Mario game or announce a Zelda game with it, it's going to sell like hotcakes. Like it'll be fine. So specs be damned, to be honest with you. Specs be damned. How about they work on a fucking Pokemon game? How about that? How about they work on a good Pokemon game? How about we get that from them? That would be a good thing. Let's see if they can make a good Pokemon
or some
game.
new IPs, maybe.
No. No,
we'll just keep with that. That's fine.
Yeah, we'll just keep with what.
Can I get a Star Fox Adventures 2 at least? Like, god damn,
that would be cool.
I
heard the Pokemon game they announced. I heard that one was they haven't announced the system, but that one's going to be on this.
I just don't have it at 33. I don't have it in me to catch them all anymore. I don't.
Yeah, I know. We know.
You right there with me, buddy.
I didn't buy the last Pokemon game, so I agree. I agree with you. Yeah.
Speaking of a game a lot of people aren't going to buy, Escape from Tarkov is releasing a $250 edition of the game.
10 out of 10. Hold on, I got to give you credit. That was a very good transition.
It's almost like I was on television or something. I'm pretty good at what I do.
Sometimes you get this. Sometimes
what's the name? Yeah, speaking of games people ain't going to buy. So there's a $250 edition of Tarkov that was announced, and behind it is locked a mode offline. The community has been asking for offline that you can just play with your friends, and they're adding it to the game, but it'll be exclusively to that $250 edition. And to add insult to injury, the previous most expensive version of it, I believe, was $120. Even if you own that version, you still have to upgrade to the $250 edition. And to add insult to injury, before the game launched, the developers were super pro-consumer. They said all major updates involving like core gameplay, they will never charge for. So they're very upset, not only at the price tag, but they went back on their word, especially because it's not even like some super different game mode. It's the same game. You're just playing offline with some friends, and they're charging $250 for it. What's going on with this game, Watts? How are we feeling about this?
So I don't know a whole lot about extraction shooters, but I'm always keeping an eye on it, and definitely heard about this because they also said that in that previous version that people paid $100 whatever for, they were saying that it includes all DLC that will ever come to the game. And then they were like, well, this isn't DLC. This is not DLC. It's not. People are like, what do you mean it's not DLC? Yeah, I don't know what's going on over there, because there was also was it called Gray Zone Warfare? Is that what it's called? That one? The Tarkov Twitter account was like, have fun playing your fake game, and we're like, what are you doing? People are mad at you, and then you're like shooting shots at like other extraction shooters. It's very weird, and that's a lot of money, and you're not even letting people who have previously given you a lot of money have that stuff. It doesn't make any sense to me. I feels like they've shot themselves in the foot real hard.
Yeah, especially because, like, and correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm not in this community, but I do feel like from the outside looking in, that community kind of stagnated. Like, the people who play that game, they play it, but I don't really feel like Tarkov is like buzzing right now. So, like, more than ever, I'd argue they really need to be good to their community as they figure out how to find some level of growth. So I find it interesting that they made this announcement at this point in the game, especially because a lot of games are trying to do what Tarkov is doing. Like, people are coming for his lunch, and they kind of shot themselves in the foot. What you think, Jay?
Yeah, like I said, I'm sitting there looking at everything, and I'm like, that's kind of messed up, right? Like $250, that's a lot of money. That is a lot of freaking money, especially for one game. So you have to be like super invested. Yeah, especially especially in this economy. So you have to be super invested. Like, this has to be like the only game that you play for you to even like justify paying $250, let alone what the previous edition $120. Like, that's a lot of freaking money. So like for them to just say that like, oh, this is a separate mode and then lock it behind this edition, that is a slap in the face to all the hardcore Tarkov players. So I don't understand what the reasoning is. I don't think we ever will get the true reason why they thought that this would hit. Think that this will be okay, but like I said, shout out to the people who are once again saying, hey, this isn't good. Maybe they should review Bomb Tarkov too, and maybe they'll change their stance on this. Shoulder was good, man. Shoulder man was good, because this is best love. Like I said, I would never pay $250 for one video game. That's just saying that number.
What about Grand Theft Auto 6?
No, no, not that. If you talk about I'll pay $1,000, I'm like, y'all tripping. No, you would not for GTA 6. No, you would not. Like, calm it down. So yeah, like I said, I'm not in the community either, but like I said, I feel for the people who like really play this game and want to play this offline mode. That's pretty insane.
Would you pay $250, Ethos?
No.
I feel that.
Sounds like a lot of money.
What's the name? I feel like they was testing the waters. They probably was in over their head. They bills a little higher than they thought. They was like, man, we need to raise the price on this game, and it just kind of backfired. Now you ain't got an audience. Like, that's crazy to me. But hey, hopefully they figure it out and they backtrack on that one, because I haven't seen any update on the story. Like, it kind of came. I haven't either. Yeah. So hopefully they backtrack on that, and if they don't, hey, vote with your wallet. Don't play the game. Let it go.
Did the players bend the knee? Because that's a new buzzword, bending the knee. Did Sony bend the knee? So I wonder, did the player just, they ain't have enough cojones to make them?
Where you hear that in a Twitter space?
No, that's the
that shit is so stupid.
Those are the rage baity. Those are the rage baity community, man. They talk about bending the kney. You know, they get into the political stuff too. So yeah.
Motherfuckers read articles and think they're revolutionaries. This shit is crazy. Another piece of funny news. I feel like this one kind of went under the radar. Dave & Buster's. So currently, we just exited a pandemic, but we're now in a new pandemic. For those unaware, it is known as the parlay pandemic. It's affecting the people who watch sports. If you watch NBA, NFL, NHL, whatever, people are out here using apps like DraftKings, Prize Picks, and they're betting on their favorite players to score X amount of points or get X amount of rebounds or touchdowns or whatever. And in exchange, they might make some money. The thing is, most people are not, if you look on social media. So a lot of people are saying we're in a parlay pandemic. Well, video game company Dave & Buster's is looking to get in on that parlay pandemic once they heard about it, because they are now going to be, well, soon, not now, but soon they're going to be offering on their app people to the ability to actually bet on the games they play. So if you want to play a little skee ball, little, the basketball, mini hoops, whatever, Dance Dance Revolution, whatever is at Dave & Buster's, you can bet on who's going to win and who's going to lose and make some money off of it via their app. It's going to be for their loyalty members. I know you're a little bit into the parlay stuff, Jay. How you feeling about that? You trying to get into a skee ball parlay?
I do not bet. I can't get into that stuff, man. The further thing I do is fantasy. But when I saw the story, I was like, David Buster's, y'all are wilding. Like, to think that people would. I mean, this. Never mind. Because now that I say that, I'm like, yeah, people are dumb, and I think that people would legit like get in on this. But I'm just like, why at this point? Like, if you see a random person, who's shooting hoops or whatever, and you're doing a competitive mode, why don't you just like under the table be like, hey, like, all right, I got $5, $10, like let's see who wins, right? Like let's just do the friendly bet instead of using the Dave & Buster's app. And well, first of all, you got to be a loyalty member. Who's a loyalty member at Dave & Buster's? Who really goes to Dave & Buster's?
Apparently, like, Drake is. So
that's crazy.
You're done.
That's crazy. But
he's not wrong.
That's insane. But like, who goes to Dave & Buster's that much and like, yo, I really want to use this system? And like, because at the end of the day, you're giving Dave & Buster's money, right? And that's why I say, like, just cut the middleman out. Like, if you really that competitive, like, just bet somebody under the table. But here's the thing that I don't think too many people talk about. I think some more fights are going to break out at Dave & Buster's over this shit. Like, people don't care about them. People care about their money, bro. And if they lose money, they're going to get upset. So Dave & Buster's, you better up your security, because if people really get into this, watch, it's going to be some crazy stuff happening at Dave & Buster's all across the nation.
Can you imagine? So you're playing Dance Dance Revolution. Someone comes up and is like, I'm going to bet on you. And then you completely fail. And now someone has a problem with you. You're just,
I don't even know you, dude. Like,
right? It was like,
I know you suck my parlay.
Like,
you suck my parlay. I know you did that shit on purpose.
That's
Go
so
on the parking lot.
Oh my god!
It's so funny to me, because going back to, you have to use their app. It doesn't say it in the article, but educated guess, if you have to go through their app, there's going to be a transaction fee. So if you bet $5, it's probably going to cost you $6. So going back to what JG said, like, why not just bet under the table? Like, just like, you got 5, I got 5, let's do it. Like, I wouldn't.
That's the only time that I can see I'd want to do it, right? Is like if you go with a group of friends and you're just like betting on who's going to win stuff, like, that's the only time I'd want to do it. But I'm not going to go through an app to do that.
Yeah.
You know, move your ass in this air hockey. Like, all right, let's go. Like, but
like,
I don't know. I don't understand that.
laser tag would be cool with that. I think like if it was like two teams and they bet against each other, like, oh no, we're gonna whoop y'all. But then that shit gonna get rid of. That's already a little like competitive. So
they could set up cameras and then people could watch on the app and bet
on the person. Yeah, Ready Player One type thing. Man. That would be pretty funny.
Y'all got Dave & Buster's in Detroit?
Yeah.
Oh, here you go. Here you go. Here you go. Get him, Etho. Get him.
I know the sign. I know the sign costs the city a lot of money. I know
he hates that he tries to act like we're Cleveland. We're not fucking Cleveland out here, bro. We actually have a Dave & Buster's, okay?
I heard that.
You have internet too. Can you believe I'm actually communicating?
I heard the Detroit sign cut into the budget this year. That's what I heard.
Throw that shit down, bro. Come on, man.
Close a couple companies. Pay for the sign.
Nothing too crazy.
Oh my god, bro. We turned that shit down allegedly, by the way. So if you see me on a video, I'm just saying allegedly.
I wasn't there.
I wear my GI hoodie too. I wear my all white GI hoodie.
No. You got to wear a mask like Watch Dogs 2. Old boy with the lights.
So what I'll do is I'll take my Mass Effect helmet. I'll wear that, and then I'll also put the GI hoodie on. And
we saw Commander Shepard at the Detroit Sun this evening.
Fuck the Reapers.
they interview. He'd be like, "Sir, why are you vandalizing the sign? Because I'm a Spectre and they can do what they want." It'd be like,
figure that out, homeboy.
I think that was a video game reference.
And then I punched the reporter.
The reporter.
I'm doing a Renegade run.
I understand that reference.
I hate you, Jason.
Here's some more serious news. So apparently EA is considering putting ads in video games.
I saw that.
They're testing the idea. We have teams internally in the company right now looking at how we do very thoughtful implementations inside of our game experiences. They want to make some extra money. How are we feeling about the potential of seeing ads in games, Watts?
It's getting to the point where it's like, clearly the game industry as it is right now is not sustainable. And just adding all these other monetization things isn't going to make it better. Like, you have to change it at the foundation of what's causing the problem. And the problem is that your games are taking like 7 years to make and hundreds of millions of dollars. And that you can't get your money back ever on that. Ads in games. I would be okay with it if it was like someone like we had in Death Stranding, right? They had a can that was an actual real life can. But even then it's like, yeah, it does kind of mess with your immersion depending on the game. So yeah, I don't want it. If I buy the game, I want to play the game without ads.
Yeah, when you have companies like EA reporting record profits, it's hard for me to side with them like putting ads in the game. If they do put them in there, I'm okay kind of with what you said, Watts.
Yeah.
With them coding it into the game, my issue becomes, my concern is if they find some way to run ads via online, like the single player game has to be always online, and there's like billboard, let's say it's an open world game like GTA and there's billboards all throughout the city. They find a way to like automatically and update the ads via the internet. I feel like that could potentially fuck with the performance of the game, and I'm like, that's why I'm like, this is a slippery slope. I'd rather not do it.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah, if a game ends up like having a sponsorship with a company that it makes sense in the world, and there's like a drink that is an actual real life drink, I'm like, okay, I'm not too mad at that. But anything else, I would not be okay with.
What you think, Ethos?
Only if it's Baja Blast. That's what I'll allow. If it's Taco Bell Baja Blast, I'll let it slide. But everything else, nah. It's bad. Like I'll be playing Jedi Survivor and I'll run up, down the level and I'll see a Taco Bell on the corner. I don't know what the fuck they're gonna do. I just know what it reminds me of. Anime back when I was a kid, like in the early 2000s, like my favorite one, Code Geass. They had a deal with Pizza Hut. It made no fucking sense, but they literally had Pizza Hut in the anime. Like the characters would be eating pizza, and they would have the box that would be Pizza Hut. It's like, why the fuck is Pizza Hut doing in a sci-fi game with mechs? It made no sense.
That's the problem.
They did it, and it was a funny thing at the time.
Did it make you want to order Pizza Hut?
Low key, yeah.
Interesting.
Damn, so they invested your mind.
If you see ads showing up in EA.
Yeah, you gotta remember though, this is like early 2000s Pizza Hut. We're not talking about now Pizza Hut. We're talking about like early 2000s, back when they actually had the HUD and everything.
When they were good, yeah.
When they were good, and they had like, you'd read books and you get free pizza for it. Yeah, that was good.
That's
dang, that took me back.
Now that I think about it, I don't know the last time I seen somebody eat some Pizza Hut. What the fuck? Jay,
it's not that good no more.
What you think?
Yeah, this is definitely, it has the potential to be a slippery slope, and it's EA. Like, everybody already like is on EA butt. So like, this is like EA doing it.
Like, EA, please, man, please.
Like, I just see EA like, all right, you hit a cutscene or something, and then after the cutscene, you see like a 1 minute ad for something, like a whole commercial in your video game.
Now, Pop John's like,
yeah, like this, bro. I see them doing some crazy stuff like that. Why are we doing all this weird testing? Like, can we please? Like I said, I think us as gamers, we need to gatekeep this shit and be like, look, we're not taking this anymore, bro. Like, this is like whatever y'all are doing. Please stop testing. Like, this makes no sense. Like, I would think the only thing that would be okay, because like, even though we hate on 2K all the time, like 2K is full of ass, bro. Like, they have brands out the wazoo, from Mountain Dew, Gatorade, everything you can imagine, right? Like, they have them in the game, they have them in the city or whatever, but it doesn't make me want to go to, and get some Gatorade. It doesn't make me want to go get some Mountain Dew.
It's annoying.
They're cool. Yeah, it's annoying, but it's not messing with my overall experience, right? Like, at the end of the day, like, if I play 2K, I just want to ball out. Like, I understand it's there, and you have these specific missions that are dealing with these brands, and I understand they're there, and that's fine. That would be the extent of like my annoyance. But if you're going to like go as far as, like I said, I'm just thinking of the word, just give me full-blown commercials in my video game, then that's where I'm like, absolutely not. Like, okay, you can integrate some brands in there, but that's it. Like, that's cool. It's not gonna make me personally want to engage with the brand, but if it's there, fine, cool. You made a little bit of money for putting whatever actual real life brand into your video game. That's cool. I don't care about that stuff. But like I said in this article, we talking about dynamic ads. Yeah, that might mess with some games a little bit more. If you're going to be changing up the ads every single time I'm playing the game.
Man, listen, they want to get their money up. I got an idea. How about y'all make some new games? Like, that's the real issue. Like, it's hard to get...
but EA tried, remember, with that one game, that Battle Mage game, and they said they shit
say fine. That? How can you say that after we literally had a podcast where literally you called everybody a fraud and said, because you said 64% of them don't play new games. They all play the same old games.
This man just talked about Immortals of Avium. Get the fuck out of here. So you thought that was a good game? That was in the defense of the people who don't buy it. You thought that was a good game?
That wasn't me. That was JG. JG brought that shit up.
I'm just saying though, but they tried it.
I said, why would they make new games when y'all keep playing Apex Legends?
No, that's true. That's a fair point. That's a fair point.
Yeah, it's all like Minecraft, Fortnite, and all the old live service games. Yeah, and you wonder why every company wants to make a live service game.
Yeah, it's we are unfortunately the cause of a lot of this. I mean, like I said, I don't want to have to blame us, but not us, but the majority of gamers are the cause of why the gaming industry is in this state right now.
Yeah, basically people who don't watch, because you can not us, but also people who watch podcasts like this. I think they play games more than average. But like people who don't watch podcasts like this or follow news sites, the casuals, yeah, they're
the casuals. They're
you know what convinced me of that too? When we were when you did that whole the Mark thing about how many franchises or games you played of this franchise, and it was like a list of like A to Z. That's what I realized, because when I saw the quote to and people replying to it, I was like, damn, I was like 13, 12, 6. I was like, I'm up here like
you saw that?
Yes, I literally was like looking at it. I was like, not to shame them. I'm not shaming them. I'm just saying it kind of bogged my mind, because I was just used to that where it was like, everybody like probably in here, they marked it off. It was just like us easily 80 plus like across the board.
Right. That's really interesting. It must have been
13.
It must have been the people that responded to you, because where I got that from was actually my girl. She texted it to me and she got like 25, and she was like, I'm actually curious to see how you would do it. So that's when I uploaded it, and I compared it to like her audience to mine, because then when I went and looked, it was like the same thing. It was like 10, 13 people, but then the people who replied to me, they weren't getting as high as me, but I would say on average, like the people who watch us, they were getting 50 and higher, which I thought was like impressive.
I was talking about like
for you.
Things in the quote tweets. I don't know if you were looking at replies, but I was looking at people who quote tweeted you, and then they saw yours.
Those might have been like, random people.
Yeah, that was where I saw where like I saw like, for example, one person I just found. I'm not shitting on nobody, but I think one of them was like an Overwatch streamer, and theirs was like 6 or 13. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, they're streaming. All they stream is like, it makes sense. All they stream is Overwatch. And they're like, I'm trying to get better at it. I'm trying to increase the score. And I was like, this is crazy to me. Like,
but a lot of people got mad. A lot of people get mad when I bring that article up about how 60% of people don't play new games. It keeps showing.
It's true though.
It's
obviously true. It's a stat.
But in their defense, a lot of those games on that list, I would say they're franchises that have been relatively inactive for almost a decade. BioShock. There's been no BioShock games since 2013.
It's funny because I had the polar opposite. Most of those games were very mainstream. There was only like in that fourth column. There were some Wild Arms. Oh, that was okay. Hold up, but in a
there were some of them. Yeah,
and I was gonna say in that fourth and fifth column there were some more obscure stuff. That was a deep cut Wild Arms.
Even I was
but most of those games were pretty mainstream.
I would also bring it to a fact that we have to account for the age gap too, because a lot of these games, like going back to Ethos' point, if they're not loving anymore, then there's no way that you would go back. It would take a lot for you to be like, hey, nostalgia-wise, I'm going to go back and play this.
Yeah, I was shocked that didn't have Zelda. Yeah, that shit was crazy.
The thing that opened my eyes, I think, to this kind of thing, another thing that happened was people were getting like their Steam breakdown last year at the end of the year of like how many games did you play and like all those stats.
The Spotify recap.
The Spotify recap for Steam, and so many people were on like 4 games, like 3 games, and I'm like, oh, okay, so I'm out here playing like 50 games. It's not normal. And 50 is a lot. I get it. Like if you have a full-time job, you're not going to be playing 50, but it also shows you that all the discourse on Twitter, there's no way they're playing all those games. There's no way. Because most people play old games and they're not playing a lot of games.
It also reinforces my argument. I don't like paying for 70 games, but I also am confused why you're complaining about them when y'all don't buy them anyway.
Right.
And I get it. Maybe sometimes it's because you're not interested, but I'd also argue you're not going to buy them. Like,
also, games come out broken. And I think a lot of people are now scared of buying games day one now. So now a lot of people are just like, I'm not going to buy this game because it doesn't work or da-da-da-da, and I'd rather wait and get it on sale. I think that's been like half of the thing. But obviously publishers don't want that.
They want to maximize that profit.
They want you to buy it the first day, and they try to incentivize you as much as they can.
Make better games.
Why
People are also just tired, man. People are tired. So when you get home from work and you're tired, you're like, I'm going to load up this game that I've played a bunch of times because it's an easy access, right? You don't have to reinvest yourself in characters or mechanics or whatever. It's just, I'll go play a game of League of Legends. I'll go hop on Call of Duty.
Hold on. Nobody's coming home.
League of Legends.
They are.
I'll tell you, I have IRL friends. I'll tell you that I have IRL friends. That's the only game they play. And I'm gonna tell you, they don't come home. They play it every day after they get off work, and they are not relaxing.
They're not relaxing. They don't have
I get what she's saying,
energy to play.
I'm just fucking with Watts. Yeah.
Because like 10 years ago when I read the articles, it was saying the average age of a gamer is 30. It went up and now it's 35. And I wonder how many companies are doing like research and realize like, what does the life of a 35-year-old look like? They can't play everything. They might kind of like what you said. They're tired. And like, I wonder if they take that into consideration. Like it even reinforces more. Yeah. They don't want to buy broken games. Your
I don't feel like they do that. I don't think they are considering.
They should be shorter games, right?
Yeah, but because they would make shorter games that would be more bursty, but they don't. They're making longer games, and they're making games that target engagement. They want you to stay on that game as long as humanly possible and just keep play. Just like the YouTube algorithm. Same thing. What do they try to do? We want you to stay on this video and watch as much as it and keep playing and watching videos. It's the same thing with games. We want you to stay on that game and play no other games. But the problem is there's only a finite amount of people on this earth who are gamers who are going to play, and there's only a finite amount of time. I can't play Destiny, Apex, League of Legends, whatever's in the future, Stellar, Blade. I can't play all these games though. It's not possible. I can't do it. So yeah, I don't know how you solve it. It's like the Game Pass dilemma. How can you get more people on the Game Pass if it's just now?
And that's fine. That's again fine. I'm not gonna crap on anybody for playing what they're comfortable with. But again, it goes back to TBH's point. Like, why are you complaining about $70 games or talking about games that you don't know anything about, that you're not invested in, that you probably didn't plan on buying, let alone playing in the first place? Like, just stay out of those conversations. It's fine for you to not know or not be knowledgeable about some of the newer games that are coming out. Like I said, that Baldur's Gate 3 and Spider-Man argument, that opened up my eyes to how fraudulent people are. because they clearly, I didn't know anything about Baldur's Gate either. And I myself was not going to shit on it and be like, yo, this is not game of the year because I know about Spider-Man and I'm going to play Spider-Man. And I think Spider-Man is the greatest thing ever. Like, it's okay for another game to come out of nowhere that you may not be aware of, that wasn't on your radar, and it's better than everything else that came out that year. It's fine. It's okay. But for you to just shit on it, be like, Baldur's Gate 3 is for nerds and you're having sex with everything and I don't understand this. Like, that's stupid, right? that's stupid. Like, you're just sitting on it because you're seeing a couple of clips and you're like, oh, this is stupid.
Is that
like,
your review of the game, by the way?
There's just sex in here.
You can have sex with everything.
That's what they marketed it as.
You have sex with everything.
Fuck up there.
Yeah, no, that definitely showed me just how like I just like out of touch people are. Like, there are like some severe casual gamers out there, and again, it's okay, but I just feel like you don't have to be engaged in every single gaming conversation that there is. Like, some things you just aren't knowledgeable on, and that's okay. Just leave it to us. We're the expert. We've been doing this since 2013. Like, we've been gamers for even longer. Like, it's okay. You can come to us. Like, I've had legit, people legit like, Leo, I don't know anything about this game, but I heard you all talking about it, and now I want to try it. Like, that's okay. You could just go to the people who are just more knowledgeable about subjects. I'm not going to, get fully in depth about basketball or something because, I didn't play it professionally. I love basketball, but I can't tell you, Michael Jordan stats from '93 just off the top of my head. Like, it just it's just stuff like that I just know my lane. Like, I just want people to stay in their lane when it comes to certain subjects.
The internet gave the voice to the village idiot. I said, and it's unfortunate. It's cool though. Just quote tweet him, get some engagement off of him.
Pretty much.
Last piece of news that I got for y'all before we move into the social justice warrior side of things. The Entertainment Software Association, which is basically like the NATO of video games. It's a culmination of. Wait, hold on. Is that? Hold on, am I wrong?
No, that's not accurate. The NATO.
Well, no, not from a war. Not from a war. Not literally though.
NATO video games.
What do you want me to call them? The Western Conference All Stars. What do you want me to call them? It's just a big ass team, bro. Okay, Jesus Christ. You know what the fuck I meant. So yeah, the NATO of video games is going to be going against the axis of evil of video games. That's not what I meant. Anyways, it's a culmination of like some of the biggest video game companies: Nintendo, Microsoft, Sony, EA, Take-Two, a bunch of other shit. Right? They had a meeting, and the lawyer came out and basically said, after the meeting was done, they came to the realization that they're not interested in preserving video games, which is interesting because this has been a big topic of conversation over, I feel like, probably like the last 3 months. It's the lawyer from the ESA. Yeah, I got the link to the article. Like, I literally have it.
My brain just like did not register that at all.
Anyways, yeah. So, why do you think these companies are not interested in preserving video games? I thought this was interesting. I was like, and then
it costs more money to keep it available than to take it away. Is that why? Because I can only imagine that it would be money based, because otherwise, like, why would you want to lose stuff that your company has created, right, and not have it available anymore?
Yeah, because even from like a business standpoint, though, I'm like, yo, you could keep it just to remaster it every fucking 20 years or something like that. Like just a digital file, not even although I would argue you should keep at least one hard copy. But yeah, you might be right. Maybe it's just, it costs too much money. What you think, Jay?
Price 87% of classic video games are critically endangered. What?
It helps to read the article.
Crazy.
I ain't got time to read that. I just barely play my games. Come on, you think I have time to read articles? Come on now.
You almost convinced me out. I was like, wait, what? I read the. You confused me, bro.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have any theories about this. Like, I don't understand. Maybe they're, I don't know. Maybe just these games that are like decades old that are only available on like cartridges. Maybe, I don't know. Like, something else.
This is part of what inspired me to start picking up hard copies again, because I looked at this once again. I keep saying this to people: your games will be, especially if you got like obscure JRPGs and shit, they will be worth money in 10, 20 years, basically. Because once they stop printing them, it's hard to get. If you would have told me as a kid that Def Jam Vendetta was going for $200 nowadays, I would have never believed you because I thought who doesn't? They need to bring it back.
Everyone loves that game.
Especially after Kendrick and Drake shit. Bring it back. I'll take a remaster. I would have never guessed that game would have been worth like $200+, but it's because you can't find it no more, bro.
I don't know.
I don't know. Is it just like converting it to modern media and like keeping it updated is too costly? So they're just like, let's not do it.
But it's not like these games are like live service games. Like none of these games are live service games. So like the game is that. Like when you buy these old games, it's just that there are no updates, no downloads, like nothing. So I truly don't understand. Like it has to be something else that like we're missing here that they're just not telling us. Because reading this article, I still don't understand why.
Yeah.
Even if they wanted to keep just a digital copy, I feel like that's problematic too, because what if your computers get hacked and you lose the shit? Like you need a hard copy.
Well, it seems like, so specifically with Nintendo, the reason why I'm like also like fuck Nintendo is Nintendo has also been notoriously very bad at giving us access to a lot of their old catalog.
Super Mario Sunshine is a perfect example. That was the first game they wanted. Took 20 years before it came back out.
And you remember they did the emulator last year with the Yuzu. So, you know, they've been definitely targeted. No, don't do that unless we tell you to do that. And then it gets worse from like outside of Nintendo because the more we have these like live service games or online. Here's a great example. Yeah. So this is a really good game I love that also is dealing with this. Two games I love that recently one was Spec Ops: The Line. Great game. If you don't have it, you should get it because it's off. It's gone. It does not exist on Steam anymore.
Good example. They did pull it. Great game. Yeah.
And a lot of this is because of licensing. Like they would like in the back in the early 2000s, whatever it is, they would. I mean, they still do it now. I don't know why, but they would license these music tracks off. This is where the big problem comes from. They license these music tracks, and for because now they're digital and also physical, you have to renew after like a decade. But at that point, they're not thinking that far ahead. They're just like, whatever. By that point, sales are going to be like non-existent. No one's going to be buying the game anymore. Oh, well, we'll just take it off the store after that, right? Or we can't. Or also, I watched a video about this. It's not even that. Even if they want to keep the game up running, it's finding the people necessary to get the license renewed is very hard to do. Apparently, like it's hard. Like people just won't answer emails. They won't pick up the phone. Like the people that they need to get these license agreements updated, they won't do it. So, and it's not worth the headache. So they'll just be like, well, we did what we could, and we'll take them off the store. Spec Ops is the victim of that. I think Alpha Protocol, which is like my favorite, like guilty pleasure, terrible game. That game got saved recently. Believe it or not, CD Projekt actually helped save it. They actually were able. Yeah, my boy Racevic, he did a video where he actually was. He got sponsored to like actually like go to CD Projekt and like talk to them about this. Wow. But they were talking about how the complexity of preserving these games. CD Projekt's been like on the forefront of like understanding the need of preserving the digital space also. So they've been on GOG spamming as much old games as they can on their platform to like keep it up and running because they feel like it's necessary without DRM. So yeah, like that was like a game that like was unplayable on Steam. So they actually had to go back and reverse engineer the actual source code and try to find the old developer and say, hey, do you still have the files for this?
Oh, like, man.
Yeah, it was like a nightmare, but they were able to like find enough pieces to like repair the game and get it and reship it and make it available. So like I was like, I have to buy this now.
That happened with Mass Effect. Remember they lost one piece of DLC that's not in the remaster?
Yeah, we talked to them about that. They literally said the Mass Effect 1 first one, they literally cannot find it. They can't find the hard drive, so they couldn't put it in the Legendary because they're like, it was like over a decade ago. Those computers are gone now, or they got destroyed, and we don't have those files. So
seems like they're just like, this is too much effort and money to
do this. And then not only that, but like keeping up the old storefronts, like the Wii U and stuff. Like that's where a lot of those like digital games are. Like if you can't find the physical, you get the digital. Don't even get me started with Pokemon games. I didn't even realize how expensive it was. I literally was on GameStop like, I'm gonna get Heart Gold because that was my favorite gen. I was like, I want to get the DS version. I never played it. I never got a chance to play it. It's like $200. I was like, bro, what the fuck? I can't play this. This is literally like out of my. I'm not paying $200 to play Pokemon. Like,
Dog.
it's insane right now.
I went to Costco yesterday and I bought some crates, like some storage cases, because like I just been keeping them in like banker boxes. But yeah, I got some like proper storage cases that I gotta move my stuff into, because I was like, yep, one day I might want to sell this shit. I feel like my collection will be worth a lot of money. I know I got some real like rare shit. I was like, and then I have proper boxes, just throw them in storage, like whatever. We'll do something with them one day.
100%.
I think there might be more into what's probably going on. I think maybe it's just too much resources to find like the original files for these games, and maybe that's playing into it. But still, like I feel like for the companies that can preserve these games and can like re-release them, I feel like you should, because I don't see what the. I mean, maybe it does cost too much money to do that. Maybe that's not why. Maybe that's why they're not doing it. But it probably is money as a whole factor as well. But I just feel like for the people who really want to play this game, like if you have the access, why not just re-release them then digitally and just be done with it? Because again, a lot of these games are just way too hard to find, as is. Like a lot of people just got to go to Japan, and you gotta go to all these stores that just have like these physical copies, and then you're going to be paying a pretty penny for something that you really want, or eBay and stuff like that. So like I said, it's just ridiculous right now for all these old games that just people just want to play, like not even just collect, but they just want to play them because maybe they haven't played them in a while, or they never played them at all, and they just want to play them because it's just nostalgia purposes.
And that's the worst part, is because of capitalism. Literally, now our nostalgia is being repackaged and sold to us for absorbent prices now. That back in the day, we'd be able to go and get a bargain bin. Now those cartridges are costing easily $20, $50, $60, $80. And then you got frauds out here who are trying to preserve those games, and then they end up being complete and utter charity fraud. So allegedly, so that's awesome.
I know what you're talking about too.
So it made it hard to complete the collection.
It makes it hard to complete. Yes, that is all. I just want to get that joke out.
So I say that to say this. Once again, dear gamers, before you throw away your copy of Jak and Daxter or sell it at a garage sale for $5, please look up on eBay what it's worth before you throw it away or put it.
Let me take a look right now.
What is my collection worth?
I've got a factory sealed Kingdom Hearts 2. I'm wondering.
That's what I'm saying. Like I was thinking about it. I was like, I don't want to, but I was like, I think I'm gonna buy a PS5 copy of Elden Ring and just not even open it, because I feel like that'll be worth money one day.
The best thing is I literally have the collector's edition. I have not opened it. I have that with Melania in it, and then I also have that Mass Effect one that you got. I also never. How much
you think our Cyberpunk figurines from E3 is worth now? Remember they was worth like 1,000.
Did I tell you I sold it?
How much you sell it for?
I got $1,200 for mine.
Shit.
When I sold it.
Wow.
Yeah. We were part of the collector's one though.
We were part of watching before Cyberpunk came out. Like if you remember, like when it was first getting like hyped, there was behind the doors E3 screening. We got into it at E3, and they gave everybody figurines. That shit is worth money.
Wow.
Right?
I remember people were like really jealous of E3. They were like, "Where did you get that?" I was like, "Well."
Hey,
that's to get access to this thing.
I run a podcast.
I was the smartest. I was like some stock shit. I was like the week before Cyberpunk came out, I was like, oh, the hype is peaking now. I need to sell this. I put it on eBay, and it was the bidding just like, and then I was like, damn, bro, you paid $1,000. All right, bro, go for it. I'm a huge fan of Cyberpunk, but
toy, I don't care.
For this, I was like, because it was like it's a super rare, like maybe it's worth a lot now. I don't know. Maybe
it might be worth more.
But
it's interesting. It's unfortunate that they don't want to do this, but it's interesting conversation. Last section before we wrap up this podcast, we do a thing called, since the last time you've been on the show.
Real quick before you say about that, Hi-Fi Rush is getting a physical release through Limited Run. Buy it now. Just buy it. Make sure you get it.
Okay.
Yep.
Wait, through where? Where are they doing that?
Limited Run, I think.
I know that website.
Physicals, yeah.
I saw them put out a tweet of like, we're still going ahead of this with this. If unless someone tells us not to.
Especially because that game was only out for a year and they fucking shut down the studio. That shit's gonna be rare to get. Yeah, so since the last podcast that you were on, Watts, we do a section now called the Social Justice Warrior section. Although I'm thinking about changing it to like woke news or DEI Talks, because that's like the new, you know, the new word for social justice warrior. Yeah, so for the wokey section of the podcast. By the way, JG is our residential wokey DEI. I got an article for you guys. I want to get your take on this, Jay, and everybody else can chime in after that. Fortnite this update has already came out. Basically, by default, it hides confrontational emotes because apparently players in the game were using certain emotes to taunt other players, and it was making people cry and shit. Do you feel like gamers are becoming pussies? Are you cool with this? Because this became a whole conversation, Jay.
No, so we're definitely getting soft as a generation. Like, I don't understand. I've never been. I don't think I've ever been triggered by someone doing the loser emote.
Dude, they're 5 years old. That's why they're upset. They're like, I'm 5 and someone's dancing on my body.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I've seen little kids, like little squeakers, say way worse than me getting triggered over a Fortnite emote. So I don't know how this even gained steam to for Epic to be like, no, we're going to just still have the emotes in there. You can still do them, but you can't see them if you put on the filter. Like, I'm just like, what are we doing, man? This is really going back to the AI conversation. We are getting solved, bro. I truly don't understand what's going on with this generation. Like, it's really bad right now that emotes. Like, I would say like the worst that has happened to me, like in my whole generation as a gamer, is like someone teabagging you, right? Yeah. Like someone teabagging you, like, all right, like now I'm triggered. Now I'm gonna come back and like try to kill you. But like other than that, like Fortnite is a kid's game. Like even though adults play it, like it's centered for kids. So I just don't understand how this even got to the point where people are getting so upset and Epic had to step in and put a filter on there. Like it's weird right now. Weird times that we're in.
I personally believe you should let a kid scrape their knee. If you don't, you have to. Adversity builds character. Okay. If a damn emote is bothered, I'm not gonna lie, man. I don't know.
Bring back bullying.
Like, an emote is crazy. No, an emote is crazy.
Like, let's sit down and have a conversation. Be like, son, why is this bothering you?
It was like, Dad, someone did the L emote to me. Like,
they're calling me a loser.
Yeah,
I don't understand.
Be like, son,
I'm like,
they used to call me in the lobbies.
Yeah,
they used to call me.
Again, everybody goes back to the wartime. Call of Duty Modern Warfare, Modern Warfare 2 lobbies. I'm like, you haven't heard anything. Like, if they're coming at you and calling you every racial slur that you ever heard in your life, then come back to me. But if you're talking about an emote, son, just turn the game off.
This is why we have skill-based matchmaking. This is why.
I hate you're not wrong.
Watson doing the science.
We made a discovery. Do y'all think other games will copy this move?
I hope not.
I don't think it's going to be super common. I would guess it's because it's a kid thing, but like you said, I don't know how that got any traction unless there were parents like sending emails. Yeah, I don't know. It just seems super weird to me. It's an emote it's none of the emotes are super offensive. It's not like there's anything actually
like a middle
offensive.
Finger or something like
it's not even a middle finger, right? It's like not even that. So it confuses me. I don't really get it.
It's also confusing to me too, just for the standpoint of like, okay, so a taunting emote is what y'all find offensive, but then you let your kids hop on an app and listen to a Travis Scott concert, like Absolutely. What do we like? I don't know. I
don't get it.
I don't get it. I don't get it. Whatever.
I don't get it.
Not my kids, I guess. That's all I got for y'all. Unless y'all want to add something else to the conversation. Big stretch.
Oh, well, Watts, I wanted to. I know I've alluded to it multiple times, but how do you, as a woman, this is what I really wanted you on the show for. How do you feel as a woman about the whole Stellar Blade situation? Like, does that bother you? Like, were you really like, hey guys, why are you all like going this crazy over some outfits that have been altered in the game?
So I think most women who play video games, like every woman I know that I've talked to who actually plays video games, they normally want to play a sexy woman who's super cool, smart, badass. And like when this whole conversation was happening about like this is too over-sexualized and all that stuff, it's like, so if a woman's gonna be smart and badass, she has to be ugly, or if a woman's gonna be sexy,
this
she
is
can't
crazy.
be cool?
I love you, Watts.
I don't get it.
I said the same. I'm like, yo, is there a war on beautiful people? Oh man, that's great. I love that you said that.
Because I'm like, isn't it more sexist that like a woman can't be all of these things? She has to fit in a box to be a certain thing. So the whole like censorship thing, I understood in terms of like, we don't want game companies' vision to be altered by some other studio or some CEO steps in and is like, you have to change this. I understand that. But that whole thing with BBLade, the CEO stepped forward and said this was a decision that we made based on what we wanted the outfits to look like. And based on the outfits that are left in the game, I don't know why I'm going to call him a liar. I have no need to call him a liar. You've got the naked bodysuit, right? Where she's damn near just straight up naked. So if that was okay, but having a little bit of extra cleavage is not okay, I don't really understand why that would be focused on to be censored. So I just was like, until I'm proven otherwise, I'm going to trust that the CEO was like, no, we wanted them to look like that. Yeah, that's where I'm at. But if I make a character in a game, which is what I would prefer to do, I make her normally just as hot as I can, maybe a little crazy looking, and then find the least amount of clothes I can, and then put that on her. And that's where I'm at.
Well, there you go.
A lot of women are the same who play games. I remember there was a video going around where someone had compiled a bunch of women streamers' reaction to first time seeing Eve come out of the thing that she's in, the pod. Yeah. Right. And all of them are like, oh my God, she's so beautiful. So like, that's what happens. That's what happens. Like, and how I feel about what I want to play in games. Generally, I don't want to play someone that's just like, I don't know, Stephanie with her jeans and her t-shirt and just like regular hair. I want to play someone that looks different. Whether that's someone who's super hot or whether that's something that's like super gross or weird. I want it to be a little bit different in real life, personally.
Cool. Video games are an escape. It's like, almost like she's making the argument it's a power fantasy.
It is a power fantasy.
Because from the male perspective, me personally, I don't want to play Paul from IT in Mass Effect. Like,
exactly.
I want to play a super soldier. Like
yeah, exactly.
Shit is crazy.
Exactly.
Shout out to women though in video games, because I remember how when I was younger, a lot of it was like, yeah, kind of what you said. It was like with guys, it's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna pick. Obviously, I want to see somebody attractive when I'm like playing a video game. But the other half of it was because I think all of us in here were gearheads. We picked women because we knew that the hitboxes were small. That was always a conspiracy. Women had smaller hitboxes than the guys, so we're like, that's why I'm playing Anya. That's why I'm playing Anya. I want to make sure you can't hit me.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
that's awesome. So that was an opinion that came straight from a woman. I made a video about this, and I got called a subhuman because I called them fucking losers for winning this shit. So they were going in. I was like, I'm not even gonna read the comments, but it did a job. The video did a job. I called them losers for complaining about this stuff. I was like, y'all don't even know. I was like, I think the IGN France were truly right. I think that y'all truly don't know what women look like. You never touched a woman. Like, y'all need to go and like get some attention from a nice looking woman, and then you'll change your tune. You would not be complaining and signing a petition about some outfits and complaining that you're getting censored. You don't know where censorship is. You live in a country that has one of the least amounts of censorship that there is. Go to North Korea, you'll change your mind. Go to China, you'll change your mind. Shut up,
to Japan,
you guys are losers.
They banned Dead Space in Japan. Like they censor a lot of stuff in Japan. So I'm really surprised that they're like, Japan doesn't censor anything. I'm like,
that's a lie. Like, what?
That's not true at all.
People have a skewed reality. That's where I'm getting at. A very skewed reality. We have a lot of privileges here in America. So I was like, y'all don't know what true censorship looks like. So for y'all be complaining about this because Shift Up is a South Korean studio. I was like, yeah, North Korea ain't playing that stuff. Like, we see that, but South Korea Korea, yeah, they good. So no, don't be complaining about censorship.
It's such a disingenuous argument because they always say, well, this is how it starts. It starts in video games and then like, bro, there's way worse things going on. Like, you just say just be honest. I would respect if you just be honest about it. Like, she's a bad bitch and I just need her. like that. Yeah. Like, be honest about what you want. Stop trying to make this whole political thing. Like, that's not what this is.
Just like go do what the rest of us are doing. Get on Hellblade, get yourself a cute outfit, pick out some matching earrings and some glasses, and go have fun.
There you go.
Watts, I wish that was the case, but I'm telling you, some of these people on there, I don't think that's what they're doing.
What can you do, though? What can you do?
Men contain your horny, but apparently they don't know how.
They need help.
Yeah.
Go fishing. Go get the fishing outfit. If you want to be horny, go get.
Yeah, I want to see what this outfit is.
I want to Google
It's called Ocean Made. Fun fact: for a lot of the outfits, they don't just put like a different outfit on the character model. They make different character models. So in Ocean Made, she is significantly thicker than others.
No.
No, they did say that, and I didn't believe it at first. I think that whatever outfit they do make her thicker.
I see the vision.
Because there's one that you can compare it to that she's also wearing like a bikini, so the back is very similar looking, and you switch between the two, and you're like, this is a different body. It's a whole different body type.
I see the vision. Yep, I see exactly. Yep.
I mean, it's a nice looking outfit.
You gotta catch all the fish.
I see the vision.
I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that for this outfit.
Put on the accessibility mode, man.
But I see it, man. I see it. Like,
this is what it's all about, guys. That's all I got on my.
I need to get off Twitter and go fishing.
That's all I got on my notes. Do y'all want to add anything else before we wrap this one up? Okay, cool. Well, Watts, you are our guest for episode 155, I believe. Well, yeah. I had to look at the notes. What is your cleansing statement for Game Illuminati episode 155? Go, Watts.
I just want to thank you for letting me come on. This has been really fun. It's been a long time since we've been able to have a conversation, and this was a lot of fun. So, yeah, I'm having a good time with games, man. I'm about to play another Crab's Treasure because I missed out on that.
Right, it's fire. That's on Game Pass, I think.
Yep, I'm going to play that. We're going to be playing Hellblade. 9 Souls is an indie game that you guys need to have on your radar for the end of May. It's 9 SOLS. It's like it's an indie 2D Sekiro kind of.
Okay.
And the art is really good. Really, really good. 9 Souls.
9 Souls.
SOLS.
I can't wait for that 33 Immortals game. That shit's gonna be funny.
I want to play that game. They're having a like beta or something soon.
That's gonna
something
be
like that.
Big stream game for the Discord. A lot of chaos. Links to all her social medias, her stream, where she streams out all these games she plays, her YouTube, all that stuff will be in the description box below at youtube.com/GI updates. All right, JG, what is your closing statement for Game Illuminati episode 155? Go.
Yeah, if anybody from any of my videos decided to watch this podcast, you came from that particular video, I stand by what I said. I stand on business in here.
We got beef.
I'm standing on business. If you feel like the shoe fits, man, and I'm sorry, it's one size fits all then for you, because I don't know what else to say. But everything else, man. On the serious note, huge shout out to Watts for coming on the show and being. We didn't even have to really like plan anything. You just like, all right, this time is good. This day is good. So you were like super easy. So again, I appreciate you for coming on, and I was glad to chop it up with you again.
It was really fun.
I was thinking about it. Should we still call this man UTXJG the Don? Because he's talking about his other channel, man. Like, I don't know. Like, and then you're obviously getting traction because they hating on you and shit. I might have to start introducing him as JG's time capsule, bro.
A relic of what used to be.
That's crazy.
Ethos, closing statement for 155. Go.
Thanks, Watts, for stopping on by. We all appreciate it. This is our second person,
moment in a row.
second woman in a row because people are like, why are you guys not inviting women? It's because you guys need to so I know some people asked me in my stream. So at JG and let us know what other awesome women in the community you would like to see on the GI podcast, because we definitely will invite them up. Also, since I've been playing Destiny a little bit, I just want to say I have started to be converted to the Warlock cause. I still say fuck Titans. I think you guys are a bunch of crayon eaters.
Yeah.
But I was a hunter main all my life, but I've been seeing the truth, the Warlock now. I'm starting to see the truth. I fucks with y'all, so y'all cool in my book. But Titans, y'all can still lick payment.
Yeah, no one likes Titans.
Yeah, I don't like them.
Nobody.
And my closing statement for episode 150, well, me and Aki's closing statement is, if you made it this far in the podcast, leave in the comment section at youtube.com/GI updates. Hashtag ethos don't play no games.
Oh my God. How about hashtag what's the best Destiny class? How about that? Yeah, how about that, guys? Let's do
Boo!
that.
I like the first one.
Yeah, hashtag ethos don't play no games. We gonna bully this man into playing something.
Well, I'm literally playing stuff. Check my Steam.
You better play Hellblade in 2 weeks, please.
I will.
Yeah, please, because I'm probably not playing it.
Yeah, because he thought about that one, bro.
Yeah, he's a fraud. He played the first game.
What do you mean a fraud? I've never been interested in Hellblade. I don't want to hear.
You should play the first one. Bro.
Okay, so they dropped the dev diary like a week or two ago, and I played it on YouTube. And it was just like voices whispered. I get it. She's crazy. Yeah. But this is my first time. To you. Yeah, this is my first time actually experiencing it. I don't like that shit. I don't want a bunch of whispers in my head.
Go crazy for a minute, bro.
That shit made me feel crazy. I'm like, I don't like this shit.
That's the point of the game.
Just some devil shit. I had to throw some holy water at the screen.
To make you empathize with people who are dealing with mental illness. That's all.
I understand. Listen, I got other games I gotta play. I'll think about it because it is on Game Pass. For the podcast, maybe I'll play it for like a couple hours. Maybe I'll watch like a summary of the first game, but I'm not guaranteed I'm beating that game because to be fair, I've always said I was never interested.
Probably like 5 hours long.
It's like a 5-hour game, bro.
If it's not long, I'll run through it. I'll look it up. I'll look it up. Okay.
Well, it'll end up being 20 hours for him because it has puzzles. So he's like the puzzle. So it'll be the longer game for him. He's gonna get frustrated and he's gonna go crazy.
They're easy puzzles. Don't worry, you can do it.
They are actually.
They're not.
Some of them.
Don't entertain their lies. Don't entertain their lies. We got a guy whose camera's right above yours who admits he don't play no games. Don't entertain their lies.
I was like, beat my puzzles. Hello? What are you talking about?
He's like, what else I gotta do with puzzles?
This whole conversation is puzzling me. How about that? Yeah, make sure to leave that comment. Hashtag Ethos doesn't play any games. Another successful 3-hour episode. Jesus Christ. Is this the new average?
Really matters. How long is it going to take you to beat the new Elden Ring boss? Let's talk about that, my boy.
We did that last episode. We'll see. We're less than a month away. We'll see.
We'll see. Okay.
Yeah. The real, because I don't know why y'all keep talking about Elden Ring. The real thing we need to make sure is Ace streams himself playing Elden Ring.
Oh, here we go.
Because that's a mystery.
This is a trick.
At least you got to see what I did.
I know.
He's trying to dodge it.
I know.
One of my favorite things about knowing these people is like they know I'm a troll and they still get irritated. Like that's how good I am. That's how good I am at what I do.
You got over your shit. No.
Anyways,
we don't fall for that no more.
Only Ace falls for that shit.
My doggy keeps bugging me. He's ready to go outside. So this has been Gaming Illuminati episode 155. I appreciate everybody. Quit, bro. I appreciate everybody coming through and listening to the show. If you're watching on YouTube, hit the like button. If you're watching or listening to the audio version on Spotify or Apple, rate it 5 stars, and we will see you on the next episode of the Gaming Illuminati podcast. Peace. Another long one. Jesus Christ.
You're supposed to end it with "They're not like us, bro. You fucked up. Now redo it."
I'm still recording. They're not like us.